that position to Reece Nelson to try. And then Yannick want to play, what's his name? Northside. Don't play him inside me if you play him by the wing. That is where he used to finish work for, at Brighton. Not people should send me to London. Do all you can. If working Gunners Hop is, you people should send me to North London. Let me grab Arteta by the neck. I will give me a dirty slap first, and then expect reasonable questions from him. So by the time I give him the next point, he will realize himself and know what to do. Yes. So that's all I'm asking for. Send me to North London. Let me mess him up so that he will sit up, because he needs someone to deal immensely with him. So you understand that he playing with our emotions. My darling Arsenal that I love so much, and Arteta, you are lucky I'm not in London. What I would have used the chemistry of Upper job. Arteta, don't worry, I'll be there soon. Pray before I get there. You should not remain there. Another thing I'm asking for is, if he does not improve, I should be Arsenal coach. Okay. Let me take up that job. I know what to do. My days in the Woyan, my days in Bender United and Bender Insurance.
Welcome back, familiar to Northside LDN Caramba. And today we're going to get through the press conference. We're going to have some thoughts. We're going to talk about Mikel Arteta. Some of the news around him as well, because apparently I'm seeing some news that Arteta's got the managerial goal of one day managing Barcelona. Woo! Barcelona, estás a brincar comigo? This is what I'm seeing from some reports, bro. He's got the ambition to manage Barcelona, bro. Barca ain't coming for you, bro. You don't win a major honor this season, bro. This is the last big club you're gonna get in your managerial career. I don't know where this Filo da Puta is getting. One day I'd like to go manage Barcelona, bro. I would like to get, you know what I'm saying? I'd like to be Hugh Hefner. You know what I'm saying? Have a house of 20, 30 girls, bro. There's one thing wanting something. There's another thing actually getting it, innit? So I don't know what this guy's on. But welcome back, familiar. Welcome back to Northside LDN. I couldn't believe it when I saw that report. He would like to manage Barcelona. Why would Barca go in for Mikel Arteta? Do you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, man. I'm still annoyed. I can't even lie. I'm still annoyed. I'm annoyed at that performance. I'm annoyed. And not just the manager, the players as well. The players have to take accountability as well. I'm not just going to put it solely on the manager. But at the same time, not good enough, man. Not good enough. Big up to everyone that's locked in. Big up to Mike's, Jay, yeah, I mean, Carefree, Rashid, all the man them that came to the leaving drinks, you know what I'm saying? It's been crazy, bro. I'm knackered, man. Today, I'm packing up my stuff, you know what I'm saying? Getting everything ready, bro. Today's leaving day, baby. Leaving day. We can't wait, bro. Can't wait. Well, tomorrow, but early, you know what I'm saying? Going live at about 4 a.m. My flight is early, man. My flight is like I think my flight's at 8, you know what I'm saying? And it is what it is, man. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, I can't wait to land in Barca, man. Finally, the day has come. You know what I mean? So big up to everyone, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Mumsy's calling me now as well. Hold on, one sec. Let me answer Mumsy. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, watchalongs. Ciao. Yeah. Sorry about that. You know what I'm saying? Mumsy, innit? Got to chat to Mumsy, man. You know what I mean? Can't ignore Mumsy. You already know how it goes. You know what I mean? Culture. You know what I'm saying? Got to answer Mumsy. But yeah, man, big up to everyone locked in. I'm telling you, man. Honestly, let's get straight into it. You know what? Let's just get straight into into it. Let's see what this manager said after the game. Because, yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm actually tired. I will be putting a link up for anyone to jump on and have their say as well. And then, yeah, then we'll have a conversation about Barca. Right, let's go. All right. Right, let's go. Let's go. Let's get into this.
Yeah, obviously we are extremely disappointed the way we lost the game. But first of all, congratulate Villa because they are a really good side and they are really good at what they do. We had some difficulties in the first half, especially with very unusual giveaways that we have given after regaining the ball, which is a really dangerous moment against them. But apart from the Watkins situation, which is a foul, I don't recall anything apart from the goal. And in the second half, we started really well, much more positive. We generated chances, scored the goal. And my feeling was that we're going to go on and win the game. And we could have lost it before, again, with two very dangerous individual giveaways. And we didn't. We had two chances to score. The last one went the ball across Declan, and we didn't capitalize on that. And the next goal kicked long, goes there. Second goal, we put it away for a throw-in. They play fast. A lot of chaos in the box, and they managed to put the ball in the top corner, which is the quality of this league. So that's the summary.
That's the summary. He just asked you about Trossard, and you just completely not answered it. Completely didn't answer why he brought Trossard on to take him off. This is what I mean about this manager, bro. He avoids the hard questions. He doesn't want to answer them. He gives vague answers. We don't need the whole, oh yeah, they were winning the midfield battle. We know that. How is it that you don't know that certain players don't play well against teams that press well, that have physicality? How come you don't know that? Do you know what I'm saying? What were you doing? What was your instructions to make Ødegaard more effective? Why are you starting Zubimendi against a physical Aston Villa team? This manager just talks here, but it's like, bro, we don't want to hear it. We don't want to hear it. We do not want to hear it. Even if you take away the defense and you say, okay, well, cool, we got 3 centre-backs out, whatever the argument is, yeah? Why not keep Timber as a right-back and play Ben White in the centre? Do you know what I'm saying? Because Timber's our best right-back. Why is it that the midfield look disjointed? Why is it that you're still trying to shoehorn Eze into the team, playing him on the left because you're trying to bring Odegaard back into the game? And Odegaard that just come back from injury, bro. Like, it just doesn't make sense. And then you put him straight back in to start against Aston Villa that are going to go for it. Unai Emery that always wants to get a win against Arsenal. Like, these things are just basic things, bro. I don't want to hear it. What was the plan? What was your plan for Moreno? Because we didn't see him do anything, not even link-up play. I didn't see him at all. I didn't see Moreno at all in this game. Do you know what I mean? What was Saka doing? Bro, like the way he goes, oh yeah, they were hard and this is what happens in this league. No, you're here to give us answers, bro. You're here to provide solutions. Let me tell you something that my old manager used to tell me. Don't bring me problems, bring me solutions. What was the solution? What was the solution? You've got the team that you wanted. You bought the players that you wanted in the summer. And this is the best that you can provide. This is the best. Yeah, Gyökeres comes on. He looks just as bad as flipping Moreno. What are we doing? Trossard comes on, gets a goal, you take him off. Like, what? I just don't get it, bro. I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. Do you know what I mean? Bringing on Martinelli late in the game, 86th minute. Why are you bringing on Martinelli in the 86th minute, bro? 86th minute. I don't get it. You might as well have just used Martinelli through the middle and then hit Aston Villa on a counter-attack. This guy, bro, I swear down. Like, the basic things. Why are you using Martinelli 86th minute? What's he going to do in the 86th minute? What are you trying to do? Nick a draw? Because you ain't giving him enough time to win the game. So the most he could do, maybe we can nick a draw. Still dropping points. It ain't good enough, man. It ain't good enough from this manager, man. It's not good enough, bro. And he sits there and says, oh, well, you know, in this league it's very hard. In this league it's very hard. Yeah, that's why you get paid 15 million a year, bro, to come up with solutions, to actually identify your players' weaknesses. Instead, you just sit there. Bro, I'm tired of this, man. I'm tired of this.
Much of a blow, is that? Well, you've got now 7 points in 5 games, despite playing pretty well in a lot of those. It could have been well clear. It's a much tighter race.
But that's the league. I mean, you go to Old Trafford, you go to St James's Park, you go to Chelsea, you come here. We've been in a lot of difficult grounds, and today the result could have been different. The reality is not, and that's the step that we have to make. I mean, we've been 18 games unbeaten, and still we are there, very close to each other. And that's the level of the league, and we know that. That's the opportunity that we had ahead of us, and and that's it. Now it's time to bounce back. They have given me all the right reasons to think that we're going to continue to perform at the same level, because what the boys tried to do today again with the schedule that we had, it was amazing. So move on.
Thanks. Yes.
Move on. That's it. Just move on. So what are we doing? Yeah, I mean, what are we doing? He was just asked, yeah, about why we're dropping points, and all he said is, "Oh, there's a lot of big grounds, and it's very difficult in this league, and you know, the team has showed me enough." No, we want an explanation. So you know what? I don't get paid 15 million. Let me explain to you why we drop points. Aston Villa, you got the midfield wrong, the defense wrong, and there was no transition to the front three, and they were wasteful when they got any opportunities. We were absolutely dominated. Yeah. That's why we dropped points against Aston Villa that you don't want to mention. Do you know why we dropped points against Chelsea? We didn't maximize when they had a man down. Not clinical enough. The subs weren't quick enough. But it is what it is. They absolutely pressed us in the first half, and you had no answer, like you had no answer against Aston Villa. That's why we lost against Chelsea. You know what I'm saying? Sunderland, we got bossed in 45 minutes in the first half. Second half, when we were the team with possession, and they were sitting back and not being so aggressive and not pressing high and not committing players forward. Do you know what you did? The last 10 minutes of the game, you said, take off a midfielder, take off the number 10. We'll bring on a centre-back. Everybody defend. Just allow Sunderland to spam crosses in the box. They get a goal. All of a sudden, they nick a draw. Like, what are we doing? This guy just loves to avoid talking about taking accountability, bro. He just goes, oh, well, it's a very hard game. And, you know, in the Prem, it's very hard. No. These games that we've dropped points here, there's things that you could do to affect the game to get us over the line. He completely doesn't even reply to the question. He just, what he waffles about is, oh, yeah, well, it was physical. It was this, it was that. Bro, we need to know the answers, bro. Don't bring us problems, bring us solutions. Like, I can't, bro, hearing Mikel talk, bro, is so annoying because he never answers the question in depth. He never tactically goes in depth about anything or takes any accountability of how he can change things. It's just, oh, well, you know, it's a hard game and we faced a lot of big teams. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it, bro.
Do you think, like, it's just because it became a bit too draining for you guys in the last 10 minutes, you know, Spurs, Chelsea, Bayern, almost too much of it?
I don't know. At some point, I thought we were going to win it, and there were moments that we gave very strange giveaways that had nothing to do with us. But it's football as well. That the boys are willing to put absolutely everything. They try. The situation with Leo is the same. He could only play a certain amount of minutes. We made the decision to do it early, and we had to do it after.
He just admitted that he played Trossard injured, bro. We knew that we could only play Leo with a certain amount of minutes. Why are you risking the player in the first place? You know why? Because you don't trust your squad. You don't trust your team. You don't trust your tactics. That's why you're playing a player injured, bro. You play Trossard injured. And then you complain about the schedule. Then you complain about injuries. You're playing a player injured, bro. Oh, we decided to do it later. Bro, I swear down, bro. We're not winning nothing with this guy. I'm just going to be honest, bro. And this is why, yeah? And this is why when people say, oh, certain players are fit, really? Look at him playing players that are injured, bro. And he's risking them. He has not learned, bro. How are you? I can't even believe he even admitted this. I can't even believe it, bro. I can't even. Let's VAR that.
With Leo is the same. He could only play a certain amount of minutes. We made the decision to do it early, and we had to do it after. That was the reason why we had to change him and learn from it and go again.
Learn from it. So are you going to play another player injured? Are you gonna rush back Saliba? Are you gonna rush back Gabriel? Are you gonna rush these players back? Are they even? Look at his face, bro. Look at his face. My days, man. Like, why are you risking players, bro? Why are you risking them? This is what it is. He doesn't trust Diamond, doesn't trust Ethan. He doesn't trust any of the other players out on the bench. He don't trust them. He don't like them. He don't want to use them. He don't want to play them. That's what it is. So that's why he'll rather just play Trossard injured because he doesn't want to trust those other players. Madueke is his boy. Trossard, his boy. Martinelli, his boy. He'll play them. The rest of them, they can hold bench. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. And this is the thing, yeah? We're trusting Saka's career in this guy's hands. And this is why we were saying at the start of the season, Saka looked injured. I bet you he was injured, bro. Like this, bro. Bro, and then this fan base want to talk about injuries. Your manager just confirmed that he's playing players injured, bro, and he's risking it. There's no, bro. I'm done with this guy, but this guy ain't ruining my day, bro. I'm moving to Barcelona, man. I don't care.
How little impact does that have on the expectations for them?
It's what it is. I think we have to go with that. We're gonna have to go with that for a period of time as well. We know that, and the team has to be able to adapt that. Don't look for excuses. Obviously, we know what those two bring, especially in games like this. But the other two, I think they were exceptional as well today. So that's it.
They were exceptional, bro. What are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about? They got ripped apart. About the other two, Henkape and Timber were exceptional. They were rubbish, bro. They were rubbish against Villa. This guy he's a barefaced liar, bro. His manager's a barefaced liar, bro. Oh my days.
Is there a need to try and start games?
Sorry.
Is there a need to make the most start games behind the game?
Well, we tried. We done it in many occasions, and today I certainly had the feeling that we could do it. But the game was constantly at the edge because we gave 2 goals away as well, very dangerous. And those open situations against man-to-man in the last line, they are really good at attacking those channels. But yeah, we have to learn from it. The way we conceded the first goal as well, very far from our standards. So that's learning that we can take from ourselves, and then give credit to the opponent as well, because I think that they are really good signs.
They got it.
We're going to learn from it. Like you've learned not to play Eze in the wing and Zubamendi in the midfield when you go up against teams that press. Like you don't learn from it. This is why I get onto you, because you don't learn from your mistake. You repeat the same mistakes. Calafiori got absolutely ripped a new one against Villa. Are you going to bench him? I bet you won't. Learning from it, guys. Yeah, you know I'm saying. Are you going to Timber playing at centre back? I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. Learning, guys. I bet you do it again. Like this guy don't learn, bro. You don't learn. Do you know what I mean? It's a joke, man.
Well, they are. When you look at where they are, the way they play, they have beaten some big teams, especially at home. So yeah, everybody's gonna have to play everybody. So at the moment they are where they are, and we are there as well.
So I'm in the back here.
He's gonna be out for weeks. Unfortunately, it's much more than what we expected. So the player was shooting, so he's gonna be out for weeks.
Okay, last couple. Nick at the back. The players obviously very to lose.
Yeah, well, I mean, everything that they have put in the last 2 weeks, and the results that we got, the performances, and to lose it that way emotionally is very touching. To just feel that, yeah, everything that you put, it hasn't been worth it. But it is worth it, because we will learn again from today, and it will make us a better team again.
And finally, James, yesterday.
He keeps saying we're gonna learn. Bro, you should have learned this when you went up against a team that presses, and how exposed this team, how fragile this team is up against a team that actually goes at us and presses and commits players forward and transitions and moves the ball fast. That's what you should have learned. You should have learned that, you know what I mean, Kamara, Onana, you know what I'm saying, in the midfield, it's gonna be a stressful game. You should have known that Rodgers is going to be taking on numerous players. McGinn with little cut-throughs, little passes, defense splitting passes. You should have known that Ollie Watkins is going to, yeah, I'm saying, do little give and goes, little 1-2s and find space for himself. You should have known that. But you ain't learned that, bro. You ain't learned. So as much as this manager keeps talking about we're going to learn, I don't see how he's learned. Yo, Manny, how you doing, bro?
Yeah, good to see you, brother. And let me just start by speaking on behalf of the chat when I say safe journey, enjoy yourself in your new locale, and just keep living life. And
Thanks, bro.
The further away you get from London, the better. You won't have to deal with all of this crap from all of these Arsenal fans who might still say that Arteta's the one. And what can I say? I mean, I put in the chat right now that Arteta reminds me a great deal of Donald Trump. the guy who's, of course, president across the Atlantic. It's the same thing he does in his own press conferences. He doesn't answer according to the question, and then he basically directs the interviewers to just stop with their questions and move on. And that is really not a good sign. And I also want to say this to those idiots from AFTV. All those of you who saw it fit to arrogantly predict that Arsenal would win, despite the fact that we were without our 3 best centre-backs, hold that and hang your heads in shame. How dare you? I think it's ironic, really, that a lot of Arsenal fans talk about how much Emery hates Arsenal, but the hatred that these fans have for Emery is so much worse, and it's disgusting. You still see, I was speaking to Static earlier, I was telling him the hate that some of these fans still have for Emery, calling him, a 2-bit hack who was never good enough for us, and Arteta is the saviour. But again, we're seeing these same things again and again and again, and you still got these fans who are saying, no, we're still confident that he can win. This was a litmus test. And bear in mind, we are hosting Villa again on the 30th, and Unai Emery has never lost at the Emirates to us. So if by the end of that month and the end of the year, we don't have some of our injured players back, especially our defenders, we could be in for a whole world of pain. And for Egal to talk about to make this excuse of how by losing Saliba, Gabriel, and Mosquera, you lose the height, so it's difficult to face the long balls that Villa would use. I mean, for Pete's sake, let's just accept that this really puts into perspective how stupid it is for people to claim that we've got a really good squad. As you've said, if Arteta doesn't trust his squad, why the hell does he buy them? Why the hell does he keep them there? Just to make it look a little bit bigger and try and pull the wool over our eyes? And it's done. He does this with many new signings again and again and again and again. It's absolutely stupid. It's just as well that I couldn't see the game because I actually went out to attend a birthday party for, my niece, who actually is actually my niece's daughter's first birthday. So I'm effectively a great uncle. Woo! And she's not even really my niece. She's sort of a cousin's daughter. But anyway, I mean, I couldn't even check the updates. And when I did, and I saw the circumstances, I was literally sick to my stomach. But we've also got to be honest and say that Aston Villa are on a really good run right now. And this is the difference, as you said in one of your earlier streams, between a proper manager who knows what he's doing and an absolute novice. And another quote that we get from Twitter, you know how there's a difference between your and your? Y-O-U-R and Y-O-U-R-E? Emery is an example of how you know your shit. Y-O-U-R. Mikel Arteta is an example of how you actually know Y-O-U-R-E shit. You know you're stupid. You know you aren't good enough for this sort of a job. And as I said in the chat, this job is your meal ticket. Because unless you win anything by the time you're asked to leave Arsenal, you will never, ever, ever be worthy of getting a job at a top club anywhere in Europe. And you have the gall to talk about wanting to manage Barcelona one day. It's disgusting. Now, the only thing that we could do right now, as you said, is just, dust ourselves off and move forward and make sure we win the next few games. Our next Premier League game, for what it's worth, is at home to Wolves. We will have Ricardo Calafiori suspended. And I think, having said that, if you remember when Miles Lewis-Skelly played against Wolves at Molineux, I think it was last season, it was last season, actually. He got sent off for an absolutely disgusting ankle breaker on Matt Doherty, and he was rightly sent off. But because of the pressure from, Arsenal's PR, that red card was overturned. So we see this every year. This is the period where, we either suffer from frostbite or maybe we're just indulging ourselves on too many Christmas treats, too many mince pies, Christmas puddings, sausage rolls, or what have you. And yet again, in January, we're going to see the players head off to Dubai for some warm weather training. How many times are people going to see that this doesn't provide any dividends before they realize that the emperor has no clothes? Are these Arteta sexual fans really that stupid? Including one particular fan who has a disgusting blog where his most recent article spoke about Arteta as the reincarnation of George Graham. Are you kidding me? Keep Georgie's name out of your filthy mouth, you absolute waster. And as far as Aston Villa are concerned, and I will stop flapping my gums, the best part about them is that Unai Emery is doing a Claudio Ranieri. He's ignoring all talk of possibly being in a title race because he knows that there's still a lot of work to be done for Villa, especially when it comes to strengthening their squad, because although they have an excellent first 11, as has been seen, they have a few injuries to players like Tyrone Mings, Ross Barkley, and a few, maybe one or two others. And they also don't have adequate cover for players like Matthew Cash. If he breaks down with an injury, they've got the Spanish chap and Garcia who they could bring on, but for some reason he hasn't been getting any minutes. The whole issue with Harvey Elliott is another, can of worms. So they're going to need to strengthen in January. But they're focusing on the job at hand. And the recovery they've made from being literally down and out after 4 and 5 games has been absolutely magnificent. And it makes you wonder, had they not had that horrible start, how far ahead would they be? My goodness. And I don't know if I necessarily want to entertain any sort of Aston Villa winning the title, but if they do, this will be a huge fuck you from Emery towards Arteta, the board, and those gormless fans who gleefully abused him for his accent and hounded him out. And if Aston Villa win, they will deserve it. I don't think they will, though, but I will call it and say that they will get Champions League football back again. And yes, George Graham would definitely have won something by now. Unai Emery would have won more silverware. So we're all in agreement that, for the way Arteta is managing things, he just doesn't have the minerals, you see. He just doesn't have the cojones, that je ne sais quoi, whatever you want to call it. I'm not too sure what you call it in Portuguese, but I'm sure you know. So it was just a horrible, 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 horrible game. And the ending was no more than what we deserved, as Lee said on his watch along. So we've got a lot of work to do, definitely.
Yeah, no, I hear it, man. I hear it. I don't know with this manager. It's all great with this manager. And it's the thing, the manager's a reflection of the fan base. It's all great, to be all running up your mouth when we got all our players and we're this and we're that. And then when it's time to actually manage the team, manage the players, I don't actually ever want to hear him talk about injuries again. For him to play Trossard injured and then complain about injuries. So how long will you playing some of these players that got injured now? We will probably never know. But do we know which players are fit? Are any of them carrying or not? We don't know because he clearly risks it. He risked players. We knew this already. We've been calling this out from early anyway. When Ødegaard got 2 shoulder injuries, we called it out last season when Declan got a broken toe. We've been calling out the way he's been managing players for a long time, pushing Partey back onto the pitch, leaving Timber on the pitch when he's limping. Well, we've seen it and how this guy would just run you into the ground. Saka at the start of the season doesn't look like he's up to scratch. What does he do? Keep playing him, keep running him into the ground, got injured as well. Do you know what I mean? And we've been calling it out. And then a lot of the fan base are like, oh, you just want to complain. Well, look at another piece of evidence to how this manager manages players that are injured. I'm sorry, you have options there. You don't have to play Trossard. You've got Ethan, you've got Dowman, you've got even Madueke, whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? But you've got options there that you can use. You don't have to play an injured player. You're choosing to, which means to me, if you have the chance and if you can play, I think that's probably why before the games he always says, when they ask him about injured players, he said, well, we'll see tomorrow. And I said this before. That meant to me when I heard that, we'll see if we'll be able to inject him and he can play for a certain amount of pain. If the doctors say he can't do it, then he can't do it. But if he can play through pain, I'll risk it and I'll play him through pain. And it's like, bro, there's no surprise that we got injuries. AJ, what you saying, man? How you feeling?
Back to regular scheduled programming, I suppose. Because Arsenal just do what Arsenal usually do. And honestly, after that Villa game, I had to go to the gym because I was going to fight someone after that performance. And I don't know whether it would have been Arteta. I don't know whether it would have been some of these Arsenal fans. But you know what? I'm kind of bored of arguing with these Arsenal fans because we all know what they're really like. My problem in particular is the rival fans who enable this. The rival fans who talk about Arsenal like we're actually going to do something. See them? Those are the type of spineless bastards who know they're lying. They're enabling the crack addicts that are within this fan base and making these problems worse. And here's the thing. We all know, yeah, that Henry talked bollocks. We all know he's a Tottenham fan that's a cock for Arsenal. We all know that Terry Flowers is Arteta's prison bitch. We all know these things, right? So you explain to me why they're doing it. And even you, Said, yeah? Even you, from Somali to Somali, you're lying about Arsenal. Why are you doing this? You're better than this. Because I don't know whose idea was it to let him get drunk on Paris for him to speak about Arsenal like this? Because he's taking the piss. He's
What's
not
that
like
you said? I ain't even seen it, bro. I was out last night. I ain't even seen it.
well, not listen. This isn't just strictly about Said. It's more than that. Like every fan that does the Arsenal are scary or Arsenal are dangerous or I'm scared of Arsenal. We know you're lying. We know it because your eyes can't lie to you. Your ears can deceive you, but your eyes cannot. Your mind can play tricks on you. Your eyes can't. Your eyes can't play tricks on you. You can see what's going on. We all saw we deserved to lose on Saturday. And listen, we'll beat Wolves because they're rubbish. Yeah. And Club Brugge, are you sure we're not going to do something stupid? Can any of you say that with chest? That we're not going to do something stupid?
Yeah, but they'll say it doesn't matter though. We've qualified. It's a free hit. That would be the excuse for that one. We've qualified. So why are you freaking out? Why are you getting angry?
Hey.
Bro, they're already calling.
I got a free hit for these MFers right here. I got a free hit for them right now.
You know the Bayern game, yeah? I remember Hooks saying, I don't even care about that game.
Yeah. I was there.
Me too.
So it's like, bro, this is their mentality, bro. They'll be like, yeah, we don't care about that.
Hey, they don't care about it, but oh wait, if you don't care about it, then why are you celebrating that with the best team in Europe? Why are you making those statements? That's the question we need to ask. Because if you're making an excuse as to why we drew to Chelsea, and mind you, this is the Chelsea team that Leeds slaps up, by the way. This is the Chelsea team that Bournemouth should have taken 3 points from. Like, the league isn't that good, but we're fragile. Because City aren't as good as they were 3-4 years ago, but I have more faith in a City that shot to bits than this Arsenal team. I got more faith in Pep Guardiola with an average City squad by his standards to win the league. Because this squad should win the league. Not by a landslide, but we should win the league. But as I said to these fans at the start of the season, if you want me to take them seriously, win at the grounds that we don't usually win at. Okay, we won at Newcastle, but we lost at Anfield because we played 3 DMs, like a moron. Do any of you think we're going to the Etihad in April and get 3 points? Do any of you think that? Precisely. Because unless we win the Champions League, and trust me, we're not doing that, by the way, then it's going to be one of the cups that these lot don't care about. But wait a minute. But Arteta's repeatedly proven that he's a bottle job. Fun fact, here's a stat you'll like. Out of all the semi-finals he's been in, we've scored 2 goals in eight games in semi-finals. And only one of them was from open play. That's all I need to say. Bro, listen, this is why I have mechanisms to take away my anger. Because if I didn't go gym and if I didn't box, listen, all I'm saying is, if you think the league drinks enough alcohol, nah. Bro, I would be an alcoholic if it weren't for certain things that I do outside off camera. Because this football club would have you in a dark place. And speaking of people that take Arsenal to dark places, AFTV, you are right, by the way. Them man are a bunch of gormless pricks. You see Julian, You see that posh Ten Hag? You are a bum. You always have been a bum. You always will be a bum. So you can go ahead and be the white chocolate Don Robbie. That does not mean that you know anything about football. Because you can bankroll AFTV as much as you want. That don't mean that you're actually accepted. That don't mean that you have any credit in the bank. Never has been, and never will be. Because let's be serious, If Arteta does go to Barcelona, I think Northside will just quit football. Because if my man's spent 5 years on Arteta's island trying to escape, and then my man's followed him again.
Nah, but even he wouldn't. But even if he did, he'd get axed real quick, man. It's Barca. Well, even Xavi, like he won them a league, and he already knew, like, yo, let me walk out before they kick me out. You know what I'm saying? I can't hack it. Let me walk out before they kick me out.
See,
Because you know
them,
what time
see,
is, bro.
you know what that
You
is?
can't run this at Barcelona.
Hey, see, you see that? That's called having self-awareness. Something that this manager and these fans don't have. They never have self-awareness because it requires intelligence. Because Arsenal fans, because there's the thing, yeah? You can go onto the government website. You can go and type in you're an Arsenal fan and you can get a disability pension. That's how retarded Arsenal fans are in general. Like, do you know how dark that is? That being an Arsenal fan can genuinely have people thinking that you got a disability. Like, bro, we're not. We've all said things that we disagree with, yeah? Fine. But we're not saying things, yeah, that will actually have people thinking that we're retarded. We're not doing that. We're saying things to where we can have a legitimate conversation. Like, it's very rare for me to still be angry after an Arsenal loss because I'm used to these lot losing. I've grown up with these men being failures. But for me, it's not about the single game itself, it's about what it represents. Because if any of you lot think that we're going to do something this season, your former manager, the same ones that you hounded out, by the way, well, listen, I admit I wanted Unai sacked, yeah? I would never have wanted him sacked if I knew Arteta was coming. Never, never, never.
Mm-hmm.
Because here's the thing, on principle, losing a European final 4-1 to Chelsea should get you sacked. But if I knew Arteta was coming and getting the money that Arteta would spend, just give that to Unai. Because he actually has credit in the bank from what he's previously achieved. What has Arteta previously achieved other than being divvied by Pep? But what has he previously achieved? I rest my bloody place.
Nah, man. I hear it, bro. I hear it. I swear down. Man finished Julian. One comment, bro. He finished Julian. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Macy, what you saying, man?
Well, I had to. Well, I had to, man. I had to unleash the machete before I had to go. Because yeah, that's Macy. It's your stage. I got somewhere to be, bro. Listen, my head's still hot, man. Peace.
Yeah, I love AJ, man. Big up,
Take
bro.
care, brother.
Big up AJ.
No worries.
Big
Peace.
up, man. We said Macy.
Yeah,
bro.
big up Northside.
Big up.
Yeah, another waffling from our manager yet again. Like, I just don't know when he's gonna accept defeat because every time we lose a game, he always comes out with yet another excuse. Depending on if it's another injury or like something wrong. Like that is why this manager is just not man enough to accept that he's not good enough to take us forward. And that is why I'm so glad Unai Emery beat us on Saturday because I knew we were in for a bit of a pickle. Because the fact is, Aston Villa are more dangerous and more powerful than us. And the fact is that we got what we deserved on Saturday. The goals that they scored, the first goal, Eze, I like you, but why did you turn your back on the first goal that I think it was Matty Cash that scored? You should have been man enough to stop him. And Calafiori is standing there like even he doesn't know what to do. Like absolute embarrassing. And the thing is, we've seen what Cash can do when it comes to scoring against the big clubs. He did that against Man City. So if you give him that space, he can punish you. And the equalizer we got from Trossard, big up to Trossard, by the way, but I was a bit surprised when he got subbed off, which was a bit strange in my book. I was like, I don't know what was that manager thinking? Like, why did he risk bringing Trossard on all of a sudden to just take him off back, like to just bring him off the pitch? And the late winner that Villa scored, did you see there were 3 Arsenal players like not trying to clear the ball? Rice, Zubamendi, and I think it was Timber as well. All 3 of them, they had the chance to kick the ball away, but none of them did. And that allowed Buendia the opportunity to score that late goal. He absolutely smashed it past David Raya. That's why we should have never sacked Unai Emery. I would have given him another chance But the way that our fan base have absolutely disrespected Emery is absolutely embarrassing. I mean, Emery, for me, I understand that his English wasn't that good, but I still think he's one of the top managers in Europe. And you can't credit him for the success that he has given to when he's managed, like when he's like coached a lot of big clubs in Europe. You know, Valencia, Seville, PSG. He's won European trophies. He's won a French trophy with PSG. He even took Arsenal to their first ever European final in for how long? So you can't. So for me, Unai Emery is one of the most respected managers I have ever seen. But there is one person I need to call out, and his name is Troops. And I respect Troops, but he said that Odegaard had a good game. What is Troops what is Troops saying? Did you see like the amount of times Odegaard was getting pressed around by the defensive Villa was absolutely unbelievable. And for Troops to say that Odegaard had a good game, I'm sorry, he had a terrible game. Like he was getting bogged down by Villa's midfield, and the only time like he did something good was that shot that he blazed over the top from Emi Martinez. But all in all, he was poor. He, Saka, Martinelli, they were all terrible, and Mikel Moreno as well. I'm so happy Aston Villa found a way to beat us. And the game on Wednesday is even more trickier because we've got to travel to Belgium against Club Brugge. And listen, I don't know much about Belgian clubs, but Club Brugge, I heard they took a point off of Barcelona in the Champions League this season. So don't be surprised if we play the same way we played against Villa, then Brugge can use that as an advantage and absolutely surprise us. And then our next Premier League game is against Wolves. And I can guarantee you, when we win that game, our fan base will say, oh, it don't matter. We beat Wolves. We're comfortable. No, we're unstoppable. And picking up the carpet and sweeping it. It's just like the fan base are just they're just happy to accept that we're just a banter club. But the fact is that I just think in my heart, I don't think we're going to win the Premier League this year. I'm just being serious because if we were that serious to win that Premier League, we should have won the games against Sunderland, Chelsea, Liverpool City, and Aston Villa. But the fact is, we fucked it up in the very last minute. So by this time, if we fuck around to the likes of Brugge, Wolves, I don't know if they can surprise us, but I'm worried about the Brugge game, the Everton game, and the Bournemouth game, and especially the Brighton game as well. Those games for me are the ones that I fear about because look at Brighton's manager. He's never lost to Mikel Arteta. He's held 2 draws against our manager. Then we've got to go to Everton's new stadium, and I can guarantee you, David Moyes could instantly give our manager a surprise. And remember, Moyes knows everything about Arteta. He knows how to use his idea of how to outsmart Super Duper Mick. And then after that, we've got to play Bournemouth next. And their manager Iriola has had a number against our manager. He's beaten him twice last season, and it wouldn't surprise me, Northside, if he beats our manager for the 3rd time. And then the final year of 25, we've got to play Aston Villa again at the Emirates. And if Unai Emery comes back home and beats us in our ground, that would be the ultimate embarrassment of them all.
No, I hear that, man. I hear that, bro. Big up Macy, man. Half Valley, bro. How are you feeling today? I know we spoke after the game. You know what I mean? We've had a bit of time. How are you looking at this now? When he's saying Mascara's out for a couple of weeks. Obviously, he played Trossard injured, which is why he took him off when he was questioned in his press conference. Seeing that news and seeing what the manager's saying in his press conference after the game, how do you feel?
Yeah, no, big up North and big up the panel. You know, we, like you said, we had a chat after the game, and one thing I said in conclusion towards the end of that stream was there are simply no excuses this season. You can't blame injuries, you can't blame refereeing decisions, you can't blame the weather, whatever other conceivable reason you can find to blame, because this squad as it is good enough to win the Premier League. We've covered all areas. We have 2 players in every position. So people can't, Mosquera being out for 6 to 8 weeks, that's okay. Liverpool have lost their defender for the rest of the season. It happens. Injuries are part and parcel of the game. Having reflected after the Villa game, there was a number of worrying things for me from that game. And I'm not trying to be reactionary or say, it's all doom and gloom. But that game had a really familiar feel to it. It's something we've seen in the last 2 to 3 seasons. The very possession but nothing football, sideways football. And then you got a captain who's occupying one of the focal points of the team, just being completely ineffective. So Arteta decides in his infinite wisdom to go for an experimental lineup in one of the crucial games of the season. And this is why I say that whilst I'm not necessarily, the manager out, there's a number of things he does that really concerns me, right? When you look at game states, for example, in the Villa game, we look at the game state at 1-1, practically it was a point drop for us, but Villa had momentum the same way we had momentum against Newcastle towards the dying minutes. So there was always going to be one team that was going to win that game because they had momentum, and that was Villa. So Arteta's gone for an experimental lineup. He's got it wrong. He's now changed it, wasted his subs trying to correct his initial error. And towards the end of the game, we just ran out of steam. All the players looked out on their feet. So for me, it's very worrying. And the return of Odegaard is a real concern of mine, right? I don't think Arsenal, as a club of our size, can have an Abercrombie and Fitch as our captain, Abercrombie and Fitch model as our captain. He's an absolute coward of a player, right? Again, I'm not trying to be reactionary. I just don't like the idea of a player who bails out of 50-50 challenges, loses simple duels as our captain. To win the Premier League, your captain needs to be elite. Good is not good enough. I think people need to understand something. We've got loads of good players, right? And the team is generally good. But good is not good enough to win the Premier League. You need to be elite or produce elite outputs. Now, one of the players capable of producing elite outputs was Eze. Then what did Arteta do? He decides to play him on the left wing and then, shoehorns Ødegaard into his favorite position. Now, people can blame Eze. Yeah, he should have done better for the goal. But the reality is, to play in left wing, you need to be alert, both offensively and defensively. And that takes time to acclimatize. So playing him at Villa was absolutely the wrong decision. Either you put him on the bench and bring him on into the number 10 role, or you play Martinelli. But you're adjusting, you're rearranging the deck chairs to accommodate your captain, who, as I said, in my mind, is an absolute weak captain, and he's a coward. He was chickening out of 50-50 tackles like a bad relationship. It was insane. I've watched back the game. He did a lot of good things in that game, don't get me wrong. But as I said, good is not good enough. And the margins are so fine these days. Like somebody was saying, this team, right, we need to create a gap, because at some point, refereeing decisions are going to come into play. That's going to cost us about 6 points. You're going to have some bad luck, etc. So it's incumbent on Arteta to really create a gap now, so we can absorb these issues towards the end of the season when we start paying the price. At the moment, Arsenal are not creating a big enough of a gap to see this title out comfortably. And that's the worry. I think the signs don't look good. So people will say it's reactionary, it's too early, we're still top of the league. And that's the mind of losers. Losers are happy when, the ultimate goal is not achieved, but they feel like they're getting there. But fans who absolutely are willing to hold Arteta's feet to the fire are saying, look, we've seen this before. Like you said on the stream, Northside, it's PTSD for some people, because the signs look remarkably familiar, right? So they're seeing it and they're thinking, we don't like this. And we think it's going to end in the same result as we saw 3 seasons ago. So again, just to bring some perspective, as you know, I am not entirely the manager out. I don't think the manager is completely useless. I think there's some good things about him. He's done a lot of good things, but he needs to prove that he's elite, right? Good is not good enough. To win the Premier League, you need to be elite. And what will happen against Villa was a really worrying event, which if it's not corrected as soon as possible by Arteta, and the litmus test really is going to come against Everton, right? We like you said, we're going to go to a new stadium with rabid fans who are going to be passionate, and it's going to be a real event. If Arsenal fail to win that game, then the warning signs are going to be there, and it's going to be ominous for us, I think. So that's my thought. I think having watched back the game without the emotion and anger of what I saw, there were a lot of things I saw in that game which made me question the manager's judgment. And I think we really need to see a change, a step change in his approach. Stop favouring players. That captain is not good enough to win the title. Odegaard is ultimately going to cost us a league title and Arteta's job. Mark my words. If Arteta insists on playing Ødegaard in the number 10 role and moving Eze around to accommodate him, we are not going to win the league. Elite outputs win you the title. I'd rather see 20 minutes of Eze in the number 10 role than 90 minutes of Ødegaard in the number 10 role. Because I know that Eze needs one moment to score. And that's what Magic players does. Fair enough, he was poor against Villa in a position he was unfamiliar with. But we still had enough time to save the game, to salvage something from the game, and we failed. So that's my thoughts on it, to be honest.
No, I agree. I hear what you're saying. I think this expectation that Arteta said that, certain players need to learn how to play in certain positions. I don't want to hear that. I saw some news today about apparently we may be playing, shoehorning Havertz into this team as well. Where's Havertz going to go in? Because Manny, he can't in the midfield. He was terrible when we came to the club and he played in the midfield. And it's like as soon as one of his favourites are back, he's got to get into the team. So where's he going to play? I know that Moreno isn't the most elite striker. I know that Gyökeres hasn't been great. But once again, I don't feel like he sets some of these players up to win. Gyökeres, let's be real. At the start of the season, he was playing with 3 DMs in the midfield. Then he wasn't getting any chemistry with Eze because when Eze got introduced into the team, he was playing on the left. Then he had Ødegaard there. Then we wasn't playing to his strengths. It's like, as much as I would like to, I will criticize Gyökeres to a certain degree. It's not really been a platform for him to thrive. We've not been playing to his strengths. We've not, when the player was making the runs and we were like, yo, look at him. He's getting himself into the good areas. We were nullifying his game playing for set pieces. And now, I'm not surprised that his form's gone down. I'm not surprised that he's not even making the runs that he was making because he wasn't receiving the ball. Go on.
Exactly. And, I think there's a comment in the chat there from Oliver saying that, Arteta just loves playing players out of position to try to suit his, deranged tactical ideas and also shoehorning his favourites in. It's spot on. And the worst part is we've seen this since his first full season after winning the FA Cup. Let's remember, of course, that when we won the FA Cup, he had, I think we had a 3-5-2 formation or something like that, with Pepe and Aubameyang up front and 3 centre-backs, obviously. I think it was Luis, Socrates, and was it Ainsley Maitland-Niles at left back? I don't quite remember. But, again, that FA Cup, I think it's fair to say, was probably the worst thing that could happen because it gave, Arteta the license effectively to, do whatever he wanted because he ended up getting a great deal of credit in the bank from the board. And they said, there is a great deal of potential and we're happy to see what you can do. And I was also willing to back him even though I didn't want him at all in the first place. But then when you take a look at some of the decisions he made, playing, Aubameyang also on the left when he's an out-and-out number 9, he's repeating the same thing again. Although Eze is more suited to playing in the 10, he wants him on left wing. And there is a difference, really, between Ødegaard and Eze because Ødegaard just doesn't have that strength. And I think I also want to sort of big up Lee and a few others who were saying that one of the reasons why Ødegaard doesn't want to get into these very big tackles and fouls is because his country had secured World Cup qualification. Why should he have to risk injury and deprive himself the chance of leading Norway out in the US, Canada, and Mexico? And it's just disgusting. And when you have these players who are just a little bit more selfish and don't really want to get stuck in, as one of our panelists said, it just makes that difference. It's not elite captaincy behavior. And I am once again sick and tired of all of these people who claim that Ødegaard is a terrific captain. He's not. He'll never be in the league of Tony Adams and Patrick Vieira. And I also mentioned in the chat that one of the most trending videos made by an Aston Villa handle was of Ødegaard. You saw him in the penalty area where he was sort of moving around like this to try and... I think what people were saying that he was trying to, gauge the situation, study it carefully, and just prepare himself for a possible counter. What rubbish! We were never going to start a counter-attack because that attack was actually the last attack of the game. And, the referee was ready to blow the whistle. And just barely seconds after that goal, he blew the whistle. So you saw him dancing to that song, Papal Americano, or I think it's called We Don't Speak Americano or whatever. And it's sort of juxtaposed with a video of one of the in-betweeners dancing that same way. It's stupid. It really is. And when you have a captain like that who doesn't want to get himself stuck in, it's ridiculous. And, more than calling out troops, I also want to really call out Martin Keown. I mean, I know a lot of people have done that, but Martin Keown, I know that you began your career at Arsenal, and Arsenal is a lot closer to your heart, but hang your head in shame. You played for Aston Villa. The fans used to have a good memory of you. And you have the gall to say that Mikel Arteta was the best player on the pitch? Rubbish. That award should have gone to someone like a Yuri Tillemans or, more fittingly, an Emi Buendia. So, we were talking about Arteta playing players out of positions, out of their favorite positions, and he's doing it again. And it's not just the playing players out of positions, it's the constant micromanaging and, stifling players and not allowing them to play the way they want to play. Good managers will know the players they want to play who will suit their system because of their characteristics and not try to force them to do something they can't do. It's how he ruined the career of Kieran Tierney. It's how he ruined Aubameyang's career. And I'm going to say this right now. If Aubameyang was at a stage where he no longer felt happy playing at Arsenal, despite all the great things he did for us, it's because of Arteta. And Arteta should hang his head in shame. And I wouldn't be surprised if, Saka, as someone said, ends up, speaking out against this like Mo Salah did and saying, you know what, I really need to go. And that's probably related to that huge release clause that was, slapped on him. So, like I said, Emery knows his shit. Arteta knows he's shit, if that makes proper sense. He knows he doesn't have the ability to really back up his ideas. He's more, far from being a qualified scientist, he's more, like a scruffy schoolboy trying to do a science experiment and failing miserably again and again and again. And Arsenal's successes in competing for titles and finishing second 3 years in a row, they're all in spite of him, not because of him. And I don't think any of us, Arsenal fans that is, have any faith that he will be the one to take us over the line. But you're still going to have all of his ridiculous acolytes on Twitter saying no, as long as the board want him, and the board are also demanding high standards, we want him. So I guess it all falls down to the board. What decisions do they make? And there's a part of me that actually hopes we lose the league to Aston Villa, because the humiliation that Arteta will have at losing the league to the man they sacked to bring him in, I don't think either Arteta nor his Gormless supporters will be able to tolerate that. And hopefully we'll get in a manager who, regardless of playing style, knows exactly what he wants to do and makes sure that he has he uses his players properly and gets his players playing for him the way he wants to play. And I'm also not going to have anyone saying that Arteta deserves any credit for laying the foundations. Rubbish. If you're an architect or a civil engineer, you don't get credit for laying the foundations and building the walls and not, getting the roof done. It's stupid. It really is. And hopefully one of these days, the fans will, they're all in a cult, just like you have Trump and his cult back in the US. You've got Arteta and his cult right here in the Arsenal fan base. All thick as thieves. And frankly, in my opinion, they find a lot in common with one another. Northside panel. I've got to do run an errand, and it was wonderful joining you all again. Big up to all of you. Big up to the chat. And Team Matters, wonderful to see you again, brother. I'm sorry I can't talk to you again, but I really got to rush. And as I've said, Northside, safe journey, and hopefully next time I join you, you'll be settled and comfortable and much happier. Cheers, everyone.
Big up, man. Thanks, Manny, man. Big up, bro. Love. I just think this manager hasn't been prepared, but I'll get into that in a bit. PK, what's your assessment, bro? You lot are getting your job done. We didn't get our job done. How are you feeling?
I would like to talk about these two people. Basically, first Odegaard. His whole Arsenal career is summed up by that clip that Money was talking about, right? That he was just hovering in the box, like he was dancing in the box. Okay, his whole Arsenal career has been like that. He just ticks the boxes and that's it. Right now, we can give him the excuse that he doesn't want to get injured. He doesn't want to aggravate his injury. But no, he's just a more intense version of those ticking the box. That's it. Nothing else. Okay. And I mean, I used to like him when he initially joined Real Madrid, and he was a very promising player. Even when he was in Sociedad, I thought he was a good player. But ever since joining Arsenal, especially the one thing I don't like him is that people overrate him for no reason. And that's really I wouldn't like to see my captain playing like that. Okay. And on Arteta, what I'd like to say is I wouldn't say he's completely tactically inept manager. But the thing is, he's very rigid with his tactics and he doesn't want to change it. He's a very one track mind sort of person. First time in our treble season, he tried attacking football and you guys were playing really good. Okay, that football was, I would say, in the recent years is one of the decent footballs I've seen from any Premier League teams. But then again, because he lost the league after leading it for with 8 points, he was sort of traumatized, and then he became this sort of stubborn guy who completely started focusing on defense, and then now he can't look past that. And look at him now in press conferences being snide and then not changing tactics properly. Like you guys always complain, right? He always tries to make man for man changes. Pardon. He doesn't want to make changes which can actually change the game. So yeah, that's my summary on Arteta and Ødegaard.
No, I hear it, man. I hear it. What's your thoughts on Man City? Obviously, you're a City fan. What's your thoughts on City?
Yeah, I was really happy with the performance, but still we have a long way to go because I don't think we are completely set. Last time also I said that I don't think we have found the actual tempo that we should be playing with. This coming Madrid game, I don't think it's going to tell us anything because Madrid squad is very depleted, and the ones who have seen them perform in the last game against Celta Vigo, they were horrible. Even though they have had so many injuries, but this match is not going to tell us anything. Yeah, the upcoming matches are a bit tricky for us. I think we have Palace away, and then we have Forest in some coming days. I don't remember, but yeah, those are some very decent games for us to use as litmus test. Let's see what happens. But I was really happy with the Sunderland performance. Although Sunderland were also not up to it, but yeah, I was still happy.
Yeah, you had to get the points anyway and capitalize on Arsenal dropping points. So this is why I'm always worried with you guys, because you guys always keep yourself within touching distance. You know what I mean? And then, a lot of times towards the end of season, you guys can go on a run. Your team has the ability that they can go on a run. Obviously, there's things that need to be improved, but your manager's more open to changing things for the better. That's the one thing about Pep. People say he's stubborn, but this is still a manager that was stubborn that won a league without a striker. This is still a manager that was stubborn but won a league playing inverted fullbacks, centre backs at fullback position. Do you know what I mean? Getting Haaland completely changing the way that you play football after having Aguero. So Pep can adapt. But the thing is that I don't like about Arteta, I agree with you. I don't think he adapts. Like when we started the season, from the start of the season, we wasn't prepared by this manager. We was prepared in terms of squad. We wasn't prepared. How do you start a season in pre-season, you play Northside and Moreno in a double pivot, Northside and Rice in a double pivot. It doesn't work, and then you start the season. You say, I'm playing three DMs. The double pivot doesn't work, but then you're going to take up the natural number 10, and then you're going to play 3 DMs. Not prepared tactically, this manager. Then because it didn't go for him against Liverpool and Man City, that's when he changed, because everybody started to get onto this manager, even the people that are Arteta in. Then he changes. Then you go, and then you start playing. Then you start playing Eze on the wing. The only time he starts playing Eze only got the games against Tottenham and those kind of performances because Odegaard was out. Because actually he was playing Odegaard first. So you didn't actually want to start Eze in the 10. So Eze went into the 10 by force. Then you're playing Gyökeres. Then he's frustrated with Gyökeres. Then you're playing Moreno. Okay, that's fine. But then you go up against Chelsea, and you go up against Sunderland, and as soon as you go up against a team that's pressing, you have no answer. And I said this about this manager. He had no answer for the long balls over the top against Bayern Munich either. We didn't nullify that. They stopped doing it. But every single time, one ball right over the top, Gnabry straight through. Well, you're seeing their players straight through. They're getting shots. I think they're the number 10 as well. He was having shots as well. This manager is not prepared tactically for when things go wrong. And I don't even think he didn't even tactically get it right at the start of the season. And that's what I'm saying about no answer for the press. Huh?
What, like, I understand not being tactically prepared at the beginning of the season because so many players are coming in and then he has to change because you've signed a fair amount of players, right? But the issue with Arteta, as I mentioned before, he's very rigid actually. If he were making correct tactical changes or any in-game changes in terms of personnel and like so on and so forth in the middle of the game and between games, for example, he can experiment. For example, you guys have won all the matches right now in Champions League, so you can experiment with some new tactics against Brugge. I know it's not ideal. You would like to qualify like at the earliest, but you guys can try. I know he's gonna stay super rigid Brugge as well. He's not gonna try anything new. Okay, and if he somehow starts the younger guys or he rotates the 11, if he ends up in a panicful situation, he'll still again revert back to his old rigid tactics.
Yeah,
that's the issue with Arteta.
Yeah, no. One thing I would say about Arteta is he adapts when it's imposed on him, when he's forced to adapt, because one, he hasn't got his favorites, right? Or he's been denied through fixture congestionness, etc. If you give this manager a fully fit squad for the rest of the season, he'll play the same way. He'll pick the first 11, he'll play them game in, game out until they run to the ground. He's only forced to adapt when he hasn't got his favorites. Like he said, like against Tottenham, Ødegaard wasn't available. So he had no choice but to play Eze there. What we're seeing now is some of his favorites have started returning, i.e. Ødegaard, and he's not willing to make the ruthless decisions. And that's the problem I have. I think this league, if you want to win this league, you need to make some ruthless decisions. And more importantly, you need to platform your best players. How often do you hear about Man City players arguing about De Bruyne's best position or Salah's best position? They know where he's lethal, and he plays there all the time. 99% Salah plays on the right wing, De Bruyne plays centrally. Nobody argues. How come when it comes to Arsenal, we're always debating what a player's position should be, whether Eze should be left wing or central, or Odegaard should be blah, blah, blah. It's just madness. As a fan base, we're drowning in this constant debates about who should play what. And that's because I think the manager has left the window open to these debates, right? By always, when the going gets tough and he hasn't got, the resources he needs to play the way he wants, suddenly he just goes back to what he knows best. Odegaard is back. He goes into where he normally plays him. I've paid £65 million for Eze. I need to play him. Because if I don't play him, there'll be a massive uproar, massive outrage. Why is Eze not playing? So what does he do? He plays him on the left wing. Whereas you could argue that Martinelli is best equipped to play on the left wing than Eze, because Martinelli has good fitness levels and he's learned the role. He's more familiar with the role than Eze. So for me, I think I don't disagree with what the Man City fan is saying. Arteta is very rigid. He's very rigid. If you give him the receipt, he'll just play the same way. And the only time he adapts is when the gods take away his tools. They take away his tools and they force him to adapt. I think for me, just looking at us against Man City, with all due respect, this is the first time in 3 to 4 seasons where you could comfortably say that this team, this Arsenal team, it might not be the best, because I don't think we have the best attack. I think probably Liverpool do. I think Man City probably have, they can equally match with Haaland. With Haaland, anything is possible. But Arsenal have the best defense. Even with Gabriel and Saliba out, Ben White is a £50 million player sitting on the bench, right? So stop pleading poverty with injuries and saying, oh, we haven't got our best defenders. We still have a stacked defense, even without our best 2 central defenders. So Arsenal are stacked. So you look at it holistically and you say, okay, you look at this team, it's the most balanced. It has the most depth. And balanced depth is what wins you league titles, and some quality, which you can point to. Eze, on his day, can deliver. Saka, inconsistent, a bit erratic these days, can deliver. So overall, you could look at this Arsenal team and say, actually, we should be favourites to win the league. And, we're not up against the incredible Man City team of the old who can put 10, 15 runs together and catch us up. And luckily, the Scousers have blown out. They've done us a massive favour by abdicating from the competition. They said, you know what, we've got problems. You lot go ahead with it. So this, for me, this season, we're never going to get a bet. This is probably the best season to win the title after 2015 when Leicester won it, right, with 82 points or whatever. I think the league is probably going to be won by 82 to 85 points. And that's a very low bar, right? That's a very low bar. So there's no excuse this season for Arteta not to get over the line with this bunch of players, with this team that's been built for him, that's covered all areas, all excuses. And like I said on the stream the other day, if he doesn't do it, the only credible compensation is to go and win the Champions League. I don't think even a domestic cup double would do. Honestly, if Arteta wins the Carling Cup and the FA Cup, are you not going to be happy? Are you going to be happy with the domestic cup double? But
the problem is that our fan base don't rate the League Cup and the FA Cup, because they always say, oh, but we want the big cups.
They will, Macy, if we win it, because this how the fan base, they don't stick to their guns.
Yeah,
if we win it, it's fine.
Yeah, because the thing is, Northside, is that I want to win any cup that matters. It doesn't matter which cup we go for, we have to win that cup. But our fan base think that the Premier League is bigger than the League Cup and the Champions League is bigger than the FA Cup. So our fans don't understand what the meaning of a trophy is, because they just want to say that let's go for the big ones. We as a fan base understand what winning a trophy is, because a trophy is a success, because it gives you the motivation of going out there and winning the Premier League. Because if we win the League Cup, then we could have 100% chance of winning the Premier League, because that will give us some motivation going forward to the season ahead at the end to get to that title. But if we go out of the League Cup to Crystal Palace, then that could be the decisive point in us bottling the league, in my point, because that's why we are in the quarterfinals and we have to win that League Cup, because there can't be any excuses now. Because if we go out of the League Cup and then bottle the Premier League, then this manager, he's out. He's got to go. He has to go, because he's been giving so much time by our owners, the Cronkies. And listen, the Cronkies, I've never liked them from the beginning. I've never liked them when they begged Wenger to stay for so many years, and they're still hoping Arteta can give them what they want. But the problem is, the Cronkies can't be trusted, because they're always willing to give Arteta another chance, and that is why I don't rate the owners of the football club. Stan and Josh, in particularly Stan, because has Stan ever been to a game at the Emirates? His son has been to a game, but what about him? Has he ever come to a match to watch us perform? always
It's
sending
been a
his
long time. I think he's handed it to his son, isn't it?
Yeah, because
Handed it to his
his
son,
son
kind of
is the
thing.
only one that watches the games at the Emirates. So at least Josh cares a little bit. But I'm not gonna say that Josh Kroenke is a nice guy. He's not. But I'm glad. I'm happy that he's going to a couple of games and seeing us like play. But I just want Stan to get involved, because if Stan is such a man, why can't he just join up with his son and watch us play football instead of staying in America and just like watching his own NFL team perform? In my mind,
Yo, he just wants to make sure that the money's still rolling. If the money's still rolling, then he's happy. Do you know what I mean? And it's not like this fan base make it any harder for them to have that. You know what I mean? I really don't feel like this fan base are going to be in a meltdown if we don't win the league this season as a whole. I'm talking about as a whole fan base.
Yeah.
Majority of them will be happy, and they don't realize they get finessed every year. Oh, just keep believing. And it's just like, oh, but look, we're in the Champions League, and that's what it is. As long as we're getting Champions League, we're getting the sponsorship deals. This fan base ain't hungry for trophies. You know what I mean? They're not.
Yeah, I think I agree with you about the League Cup creating a platform to go in and win stuff, because it's the first cup competition of the season. But I want to get your thoughts, North, on this whole Odegaard as a debate, because for me, and I don't want to sound alarmist or overly dramatic, but for me, this is a very crucial decision that's going to shape the way we play and it's going to decide our fate. Whether Arteta continues to stick with Ødegaard in the number 10 role, or he becomes ruthless and plays Eze there. For me, the choice is a stark choice between Eze and Ødegaard, not Eze and Ødegaard, because what we saw against Villa was very, very concerning. It was back to 2-3 years ago, watching Arsenal play the same way, possession but nothing football. So I just want to get your thought. How do you feel about this whole dilemma?
I think he's gonna stand. He's gonna die on that Ødegaard hill, bro. I think he loves that player that much. He's gonna die on that hill. I don't feel like he's gonna make him accountable. Even if he does, I could see him change him for a game. But long term, Ødegaard's a starting number 10. I feel like that's what this manager's like, bro. He loves that player. You know what I mean? And I feel like there's a couple of players you can see that are undroppable. Some of them with reason. Like Saliba and Gabriel. Overall, they always do well. But I don't see him holding Ødegaard accountable, bro. You gave him the captain's armband. Bro, we've been calling out Ødegaard's performances for the last 2 years? And this guy still remains as captain. Why? What has he ever shown? Yeah. When has he ever shown captain material, captain? And I'm not talking about turning up for a couple of games. I've seen Kivior turn up for a couple of games during the season.
Yeah.
And then get exposed against Bayern Munich. When has he ever shown, the level and the mentality to get us over the line? Because I've seen Aaron Ramsey do it.
Yeah.
I've seen Aaron Ramsey do it, and I wouldn't say Aaron Ramsey's a club legend. I'd say he's a cult hero. Do you get what I mean? And I feel like you can see there's double standards with this manager. I feel like Calafiori would probably get axed before he axes Ødegaard. I feel like he loves Ødegaard. I think him giving the armband shows everything. Saka, he'll never make him accountable either for his bad performances. I just feel like this manager's got a couple of undroppables, bro. But you never know. You never know if we're actually going to sack him. But then again, why would Arteta really feel the pressure of the pressure to win the league this season? This guy's failed year in, year out, and there's always excuses, and everybody seems very happy to keep him in the job. I don't really see where the pressure comes from. Do you remember when they said apparently he had an emergency meeting with Josh Kroenke or something? We've not heard what was said in that emergency meeting or that big discussion that they had or whatever. I think at the start of the season, we've not heard anything, and we can only go through previous. I feel like only if we get out of top 4. And only if the fan base turn on this manager is he leaving. I don't see us dropping out the top 4. And I don't see this fan base turning on this manager. Because this fan base, the only time that I've seen this fan base revolt is when we missed Champions League football with Wenger. Then they had enough. And when we missed it with Unai, then they had enough. So I don't know, man. Like for me, I don't really see like Why does Arteta need to change? And when he does change, most of the time the big changes come at the end of the season if he's going to make a change. Like he sets a way that he's going to play, and he plays like that to the end of the season. And he likes the way Odegaard keeps the ball. He likes playing side-to-side football. He likes that. He's instructed him to do that. So, like the 22-23 season, all we needed was to be a little bit more pragmatic. He didn't do it that season. Next season, then we became pragmatic. That's the type of manager he is. Let's ride it out the way we're playing. If it fucks up at the end, I'll change it next year. If I am going to change it, I'll change it next year. That's the kind of that's how I judge this, but that's how I see from this manager, bro. Like I don't see him proactive. I see him reactive. And most of the time, his reaction is when it's too late, or when we drop points, or when we're not in the cups anymore, or when the season's done. Then he'll try and make a change. But he's not somebody that, like Conte, like is a great example at Chelsea. We beat them, then he changes to a back three, wins the league. That I don't ever see Arteta doing that level of change where I'm going to change the whole system. I'm going to change the way that we're playing. I've seen a game. I've identified where we've gone wrong. This approach is wrong. We'll go in a different direction. We're going for the league. And that's the difference between a coach and a tactician. And this guy's a coach. And that's where his limitations are.
Yeah, no, I so for me, like, I feel so strongly about this whole Odegaard thing. And people, like I say, people might think, oh, you're just being reactionary after Villa. I genuinely feel this particular issue is going to decide our fate, because it impacts the way we play. It impacts the way we're perceived by the opposition. And you can't have a captain that comes across as fragile, weak. But I've never seen Rice so outraged like he was against Villa. And but you guys, I think I'd urge some of you guys to go and watch back that game to see. It's very unusual for Rice to be shouting at players, especially Ødegaard. I think there was one instance where the Villa left back got the ball and Ødegaard just parted like the Red Sea. He literally just stepped aside and said, "After you, sir." It was absolutely shocking. So I think as an Arsenal fan, yeah, and I said we've been used to some captains who really stand up and be counted, and are really, strong personalities who drag the team along. And I'm watching this guy, and I'm thinking, what leadership qualities has he got that makes him capable of leading this team to the title? So. And that's a big problem for Arteta, because he's created this ethical dilemma for himself now by making Ødegaard captain. Because once you make somebody captain, you're telling the rest of the team that he has to play. You can't drop him. But his performances are not justifying starting, let alone playing in one of the key positions in this team. So I worry. Honestly, I am absolutely annoyed and angry that 3 seasons on, we're still persevering with this failed experiment, this failed captain. This captain that, as the video that people were talking about, this guy was galloping in the box like a racehorse, whilst Bendia just buried the ball. A captain sticks his foot in. Don't matter if you get injured or not, get your foot in. I don't care about whether he's qualified for the World Cup or not. He was playing like this before they qualified. This is not some new emerging evidence after Norway qualified for the World Cup. Ødegaard has always been a flipping weakling. He's always been fragile. And they say, there's a wise old saying that a coward dies 1,000 deaths, but a soldier dies but once. Soldiers stick their foot in. If they get injured, so be it.
How did Fabregas play? Do you remember when Fabregas' leg was broke up? Yeah. He had his knee like on cheese strings, bro. This cheese strings just
man played with a broken leg. We've had captains who get strapped up and get back on the pitch, and then you've got this creature masquerading as a captain of a major club just because he plays.
Yeah, but bro, this is what happens, when this fan base gas players up. This fan base gassed him up to the point where this is why he's in this position. He's on what, 240 a week? Bro, this fan base is the reason why Nketiah got 100k a week. This fan base is the reason why Reece Nelson got 100k a week. This fan base is the reason, why Jesus is one of our highest earners at the club. Jesus, when I told man that ain't the guy. This is the gas from this fan base, bro. and the club
Yeah.
goes with the fan base because the fan base keep paying, more tickets sold, everything, everyone's happy, cool, no problem. That's why, bro. This club, yeah, reward failure all the time, or they reward team players, yeah, before they've even earned their stripes. Because do you remember when this fan base, when they were comparing Odegaard to Bergkamp, bro? They were comparing Odegaard to Bergkamp, bro. Come on, even if you like the player, bro, don't take the piss. Because
I just want to know.
Also,
I just want to know why was he made captain in the first place? I understand now. At this moment of time, Rice and Gabriel are much more better captains in my eye as compared to Odegaard. But why was he made captain in the first place itself?
Probably
That's a
because he's
big
the biggest
mystery.
yes man. He's the biggest yes man. You can see he loves it. He loves it.
Yeah.
yeah.
He
He
likes
goes
it.
to bed. He goes to bed at 9 in the evening. He has a family. He doesn't drink. He doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke. He doesn't fornicate. You know, he doesn't womanize. He's, you know, a homebody, and he's a good image for the club. You know, that sanitized image. You know, clean cut image. Abercrombie and Fitch. That's what I call it. You know, the image is befitting of a club of Arsenal size. But when it comes to doing business on the pitch, it completely disappears. You know.
Do you know Odegaard's effective, yeah? Odegaard, look, this guy's good when you go up against a team that don't press, a team, you know, a mid-table team, lower team. They let you keep the ball. They give him time and space. That's where people, this fan base get bamboozled. They're like, yo, he's a baller. Every time we go up in a big game, or you're getting pressed, or it's physical, just like Villa, what does he do? Fold. I'm seeing this guy giving away the ball, misplaced passes. And the thing is, most of the time, he doesn't even have the intent to actually create. He plays more like an 8 than he does a 10.
Yeah, exactly. He's an 8. That's what I was about to say. He's an 8. He's not a 10. I don't know who sees him as a 10. Somebody is who's in a 10 position at this, especially at this point of time in the first inning. It should be somebody who can take the game by the scruff of the neck. He has to have the command over the whatever happens in the final third. For example, how Kevin De Bruyne used to do for us. Like he has to have a certain amount of command. I never see him. He always, I mean, even I always try to hate watch Arsenal, okay? But even I get angry, I get frustrated by the amount of side passes and like negative or like pessimistic choices of like decision making. Even that makes me furious as well. He's a number 8 at best. I don't think he's a number 10. He has been misprofiled completely.
Yeah,
he's number 8.
Also for Martin Keown to say that Odegaard was man of the match has made it even more worse. Like, who the fuck does Martin Keown think he is? I can't.
He's pandering to the fan base, Macy. Why did he point him out as man of the match out of all the players? He's a fan favorite. They love him. Oh, Odegaard's back. We're back. The creative spark.
Yeah,
where was the creative spark against Aston Villa? Where was it? Because that's what they labeled him, right? The creative spark.
Yeah,
where was the creative spark?
The only person that should have gotten man of the match was Yuri Tielemans. The way he was absolutely carrying the ball, he was leading the charge for Villa, and he was absolutely commanding the midfield with him, Onana and Buendia. They were absolutely bossing our midfield. And for Martin Keown to sit there and say that Ødegaard is man of the match makes it even more worse, because Keown is Arteta's protector, because he, Ray Parlour and Ian Wright, they all gas up this manager, and they all think that he is the next elite manager. So them 3 pundits there should be ashamed of themselves. I used to give them a lot of respect when they were footballers for our club, but as pundits, they have no standards. Whenever they are giving something to say, they are saying they have to do it, because if they don't say whatever they want, then they could lose their jobs. So they have to say something about Arteta, or they'll lose a lot of their money. So, like, Keown is an absolute waste man. I've rated him as one of the best centre backs in Arsenal history, but as a pundit, he's an absolute waffler. As soon as Arteta leaves this football club, Keown, Parlour, and Wright all have to fuck off with him, because they're the ones that were chatting so much BS about this manager for so long. So them three need to join Arteta in leaving the football club.
Yeah, I mean, Keon is a company man, isn't he? The only people who believe Odegaard was man of the match, and I don't disagree with you as well. I think that man of the match should have gone to a Villa player. I don't care who he is. Villa were the spirit team. Should go to a Villa player. That's the honest thing to do. And this is the thing I have. This is the problem I have with these pundits. They're so dishonest. And what they do, they gaslight and they tell you, close your eyes, and magically you will see the man of the match. And that was an Arsenal player. And absolutely just insulting our intelligence. And
when did Ødegaard do anything close to? You see, when Rodgers took on about 3 of our players. He cooked him by all of them by himself. Even that ball from McGinn, that defense splitting pass straight through. That's what Ødegaard should be doing. I didn't see one of those passes from Ødegaard. None of that. The work rate from Watkins, we saw 0 from Moreno. Normally, if Moreno doesn't score, there's a bit of link-up play. There's a little bit of, little 1-2s, trying to start a counter-attack. Nothing. Like, look at Kamara, how well he bossed that midfield. Like, there's so many players that you said. Yeah, I mean, Matty Cash, great goal. Good positioning, great goal. Absolutely exposed Calafiori. Look at the goal. And then they're going to go, Ødegaard. And what one thing did this guy do? And this is the thing, like, I don't really get it, yeah? And this fan base should be calling it out, because when we got Eze, they all told us Eze's an upgrade to Ødegaard. So why are they pandering to Ødegaard now? They said, this is the upgrade now. Eze's going to play in the 10. He's cooked for Palace. Look at what he's done. They won a trophy. Blah, 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 blah. Now, all of a sudden, they're not saying nothing. Ødegaard just walked straight back into a team, especially a player that's come back from injury. As much as I don't rate Ødegaard, and I'm sure most of us don't rate Ødegaard, he just come back from injury, and you put him up starting against a physical team, against a manager that always wants to better us, always, for the way that we treated him. Why is this game the game that you've introduced him to? Just based on that in the first place. Because he could have got re-injured. Remember, he's already had 2 shoulder injuries this season. So a player like that, you're thinking, okay, if I introduce him back, I'm not going to put him in a physical game because he's had some problems this season. But then again, how can I expect a manager to think like that when it's the same manager that thought, oh, Trossard's injury, he's not 100%. We can only play him limited minutes. Oh, instead of resting him, now we'll play him. We'll play him because my tactics ain't working, so we'll risk him. We'll risk his health over saving my face because I didn't get the tactics right. That's the kind of manager this guy is, bro. And that to me is disgusting. Whether I rate a player or not, even if it was Havertz or whatever, whoever it is, you don't risk a player's injury like that and then talk about the schedules and we got Palace after Everton and we only got a certain amount of rest. You're not resting players that deserve rest based on their actual physique and their form and coming back from an injury and they're not 100%.
Yeah.
So it's like, bro, what are you actually doing? But then you want to talk about fixtures and this and that, and talk about, oh, well, we got too many games and look at the games. And bro, it's basics, though. That's the thing, half volley, yeah? Do you know what infuriates me with this guy? It's the basic understanding of don't rush players back. Don't make your situation worse. If you're already struggling with injuries, why are you going to rush the player? Yeah, do you know what? We'll play. Last season, he played Skelly. He played Skelly left back. You could see his plan was to play Calafiori. Skelly played well enough to get called up for England. Cool, he's not a left back. Play him back in the midfield. The manager already said he's a midfielder. Play him back. Give him some minutes. I'm not even saying start him. Give him some minutes. Grow his confidence. You can see he's got no confidence playing in the left back. He don't want to play there. It's not his position. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But you don't want to do that. You saw Ethan. He gave him minutes last season. He was effective. What does he do? Run his confidence down into the ground. And now you get X'd out the team. But when the player had confidence and was scoring goals and was impacting games, we're looking like, yo, Ethan, so why are you not doing it now? Why are you not playing these players now? Like the treatment is crazy for some of these players. And then he's looking at, oh, well, Trossard is injured. Yeah, Trossard's injured, but Trossard ain't your only option. And this is the thing, yeah. He doesn't utilize when players go through either purple patches or they're in form. He don't use them. If you're not his favorite, he did this with Trossard years ago. When he first got Trossard play, oh, sorry, hot bench. Done it to Ethan. Done it to Dow. He's doing it now to Dowman. Do you know what I'm saying? Oh, we got to ease him in. You're telling me the kid can't play 45 minutes a week? You're telling me he can't play 45 minutes a week? Even if you give him one game, he gets 45 minutes. You're telling me Dowman can't do it? Come on, bro. I'm not asking him to play 90 minutes every game. But then why did you promote him up to the first team then if you're not going to use him? What's the point? It's like Man City having Oscar Bob, having Foden, and oh, we're not going to use them. They're just there. We're not going to use them. If Foden's playing well, no. Even when Pep was monitoring Foden, you still saw him get rewarded for good performances. He didn't rely on him, but he got rewarded for good performances.
Yeah.
But here, we don't even. It doesn't even matter what you do, because all the players that we wanted to get minutes, when they play well, they don't play. I can see these players going, do you know what? I don't even care anymore. What's the point? Because I can't win the manager over. Do you know what I mean? And as a player, anyone that plays football, when you play well, you're on the momentum. That's when you start getting annoyed. You're like, why am I not getting selected? I played well. Do you know what I mean? Why am I not getting selected? Oh, do you know what? F it then. Do you know what I mean? Let me look elsewhere. I'm not interested. And that's how you lose. That's how you lose the dressing room. So next time he wants to count on Ethan or Diamond, man, I'm probably gonna be like, yo, whatever, innit? Whether I score or not, I ain't getting selected next game. Do you know what I mean? Because I already know next man's ahead of me. With football, it's politics. Players, they talk. You know what I mean? If you ever played for a team, you talk like, why is my man in front of me? Like, I swear I'm better than him, or I swear I was performing better than him. Why is he? Do you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know with this man. He's so frustrating because there's talent within this team, and he chooses to nullify that talent. Do you know what I mean? Even when he played Eze on the wing against Nottingham Forest, he got an assist that game. But other than the assist, he didn't do anything. You can't look at that game and say, well, you see, he got an assist that day. No, but he wasn't really effective. He got an assist, cool. For 90 minutes, bro, he didn't do enough. But this manager he got an assist. He got an assist, so it's working. It's not working. It's not working. And not only is that, I agree with you. At least Martinelli will run back and try to help Calafiori, which we know is a liability. Eze ain't going to do none of that. That's not his game. It's just annoying, bro, because I just feel like, bro, this is such a great opportunity to win the league, like all of you guys have said, yeah. And what's upsetting is like, we get so many opportunity. I feel like this guy's this crop of players are able to win the league. It's gonna get phased out, and then we're gonna go back into a rebuild, because this is what we've been doing. You remember with Wenger, we had great team like Alexis Sanchez, Ozil, this, that. All we needed was a little, and what did we do? Not enough. Oh, okay, then we have to do another cycle. Then we have to get Aubameyang. Then we have to get this. We have to get that. But it's like, bro, it's like Arsenal have a thing the last 21 years, yeah, of building a team that can get there and then not doing what's necessary. Right now, we actually got the squad. We actually got the squad for once. But before it used to be, we need a DM, we need a centre back, we need that, and we wouldn't go out in the market and do that. Now we need we need a proper manager, but we're not going to sack him. We're not going to sack him now. So we're just going to let him run down the quality of this team, let them get to the last stage of their career. Then we're going to be, oh, well, we need a rebuild now. Saka's old. You know what I mean? Rice is getting on now or left. This. There's so many opportunities that we've missed, yeah? The Leicester season, 22-23 season. That's why as an Arsenal fan, it hits harder, yeah? Because you're like, there's so many times where we should have seen trophies and we didn't. And you get tired of falling short. You get tired of it. It's tiring. You know what I mean? You want to believe, you want to, do you know what I mean? But the club or the team don't do what needs to be done. And then there's the same conversation at the end of every season. Why didn't we do this? It's boring, bro. It's actually boring having these dead discussions. Why didn't we do this? Why didn't we do that? But the whole year that we're calling it out, you're being told, calm down. Calm down. Why are you panicking? I'm panicking because I've seen this story before. That's why I'm panicking.
Yeah.
That's why I'm panicking, bro. This club, bro.
Yeah, I mean, to the Man City fan, one thing I would say, though, and yeah, no, you're not wrong, mate. I think for me, the reason why sometimes it feels like I'm sitting on the boundaries is because I can look at the last 3 seasons and find some justifiable reasons why we didn't get off the line in the league, you know. But this season, I'm looking at the squad, I'm looking at the level of investment, right? And the depth that we've got. And I just can't see any excuses. Honestly, over 38 games, this team should be there or thereabouts. You should win it. That's it. I don't care about Man City. I don't care about Liverpool. I don't care about Chelsea. I don't care about Aston Villa. Arsenal, at the moment, is the most well-equipped team to win this title, right? And if we don't do it, they're going to be... We can't blame it on referees. We can't blame it on injuries. We can't blame it on the weather. We can't blame it on, you know, the war in Ukraine. Can't blame it. The reasons and the excuses have run out, right? So there it is. The stage is set. And this manager needs to prove that he can go from being, you know, a decent manager to being elite. Now, going back to the Ødegaard thing, one thing I wanted to say is that Odegaard is familiar, is quite similar to Bernardo Silva in the way, they play. But one thing that I noticed about Bernardo Silva is a lot more braver in the pockets. Bernardo Silva is very brave with the way he carries the ball. I think Pep really coaches him to take responsibility, especially in tight spaces. And that's what we don't get with Odegaard. The moment he gets crowded out, he offloads the ball like a hot potato. Whenever he gets crowded out, he panics. He takes the easy option. And that really impacts the way a team's playing pattern, how we shape up, how we defend, how we attack. When you have that player in that focal central position, behaving that way, it really impacts the team. And that's what we saw against Villa. Villa were able to play a high line. When Ødegaard has got the ball, they're like, well, just let him have it. Fair enough, he made 1 or 2 passes. But for the 90 minutes, it was half decent, but it wasn't an elite output. And I think that's the problem Arteta's got. So for me, when it's all said and done, like you say, North, we for me, this season is the real test now, because the manager cannot pinpoint external factors. He can't blame reasons or, Mosquera being out for 6 to 8 weeks. For me, it's irrelevant. You can't blame injuries. The stage is set for Arsenal Football Club to win its first title in 21 years. And we're going to find out whether by hook or crook, whether this manager is good enough to do it.
No, I hear it, man. I hear it. Look, we all want, all the Arsenal fans, we all want the club to be successful. You know what I mean? We all want the club to be successful. I don't care who the manager is that leads us to that success. I don't care. I just want success. You know what I mean? Especially with the year that I've had, I could really do with Arsenal winning the league, and I've been saying that for 21 years. You know what I mean? And I just want Arsenal to be successful, man. Hopefully, this manager. One thing I can say lately, we have been not in all the games, not in the Chelsea game, and definitely not in the Aston Villa game, but we did start to play a lot better in open play. Surprise, surprise, Ødegaard in the 10. We don't have that open play ability no more. Surprise, surprise. Because look at the way that we played, against Atletico Madrid. Look at the way that we played against Bayern. Do you know what I mean? Look at these games and look at the way we started to play in open play. And it's like, as soon as Ødegaard's back in, nah. And it's not just Ødegaard's fault. Because I feel like this fan base, Thomas Partey, a massive apology. I can't even lie. That guy, you see the work. You see how drained Rice looked against Villa? It's because he ain't got Partey there. It wouldn't be like that if Partey was there. Yeah, Cam, you can jump on, bro. You can jump on, Cam. The link is there. This is the thing, The slander that Partey got from this fan base. Oh, he's finished. He's this, he's that. And you man want to stand behind the Zubamendi train, bro. This guy is not what you think he is, man. I can see already he's not what you think he is. You know what I mean, bro? The work that Partey did, he was an unsung hero in this team. I'm just gonna keep it 100, unsung hero. And now they're realizing, Declan Rice is also realizing now what Partey was doing and how he was holding down that midfield. And we used to even say it before. Oh, Rice can't do it on his own. He need Partey when Partey was here. Rice has got a lot better, to be fair to him. But he can't do it all by himself, especially when he's getting run into the ground and playing every flipping game. You can't do it all by yourself, bro. That's why he's spazzing out at Ødegaard. Because Partey used to be there to clean that up. You ain't got that kind of security with Zubamendi. He don't give you that. This is the thing. And it's just looking a mess, bro. It's looking a mess. You know what? Zubamendi's playing so bad, I'd rather play Ødegaard. I'll be real. I'd rather just play Ødegaard. You remember I said to people, I said, yo, he's an El Nene type of player. But you know what? At least you know what you get with him. Because I ain't getting nothing from Zubamendi right now. I'm not seeing the forward passes. I'm not seeing him win the ball back. I'm not seeing him control the midfield. I'm not seeing anything. So you know what? Put the steady Eddie in. Yeah, I'm saying put the Danish El Nene in and Ødegaard. At least I know he's going to sit and try to protect that back line. He ain't going to be out of position. He ain't going to be getting yellow cards and doing foolishness. I don't want to see Zubamendi. I do not want to see Zubamendi. Just play Ødegaard, bro.
At this point, just play Ødegaard in that midfield alongside Rice. I know he's not going to change, right? He likes Rice with the box to box, and then play Eze in the 10. Yeah, I mean, but Eze's got to step up as well. Eze's got to step up as well because there has been some games where he hasn't stepped up. But at the same time, the whole thing's a mess, bro. If we don't know what the starting lineup's going to be, these players don't know what the starting lineup's going to be. Eze was probably thinking, yo, I got a hat trick in the North London derby. I'm playing well. I scored against my old club. I scored for Arsenal against Palace. Good goal. What happened now? Yeah, I'm now on the left wing. After he gave the assist to Martinelli, what was it, in the Bayern game? After all of that playing in the 10, I'm back to playing on the left. Have I not proven myself to the manager that my most effective position is playing in the 10? But this is it's retarded from this manager. It's retarded. Bro, just because you don't start a player, you can still bring on Ødegaard as a sub if you want. You can still play him as a sub. Like, what are we doing? We were saying this before, yeah? Play Eze in the 10, play Ødegaard in the 8, and play Rice in the 6. There you go. If you really want to play your favorite, play it like that then. But no.
Exactly.
But no.
Yeah. I mean, that's an idea, isn't it? Play Rice in the 6, play Ødegaard 8, and play Eze 10. That could be, at the very least, you're mitigating, your lack of penetration from central areas. But Arteta doesn't think like that. And I think that, like you said, I think the City fan said it, right, that he can be very rigid. And when the going gets tough, he would just go back to the familiar and well-rehearsed, which is Ødegaard. He's not even a bloody 10. And that's the thing that frustrates people. Like, you look at Ødegaard, he's not a number 10. He's more of an 8, right? And the eye test doesn't lie. You can see it. He hasn't got the attributes of a 10. He cannot drop a shoulder, beat a man, or he cannot show quick feet around the box and bang like Eze does. And that's what number 10 does. Ronaldinho, Cazorla, Ozil. These guys are geniuses at the edge of the box. They create magic moments. And then you've got this guy who is masquerading as a 10, but really he's not. And it feels like we've been, discussing this point for a while on this stream, but it's such a critical position for Arsenal Football Club. Because the formation we play, it affects the patterns, it affects the way we defend, it affects the way we attack. That position is almost the president of the United States of America. It's the most powerful position in the team because it impacts everything we do. And that's why when Eze came in, you can immediately see the transformation in the way we play. Because that role is so crucial that if you platform the right player, he scores a hat-trick in the North London derby that hasn't been scored for however many donkey years you can count, right? He settles the game against his former club, all from a central position. So it's such a focal point in the team. And I think it's right. People, for me, when it's all said and done, right, what really annoys me is that this captain, and I'll say it again, is an absolute coward. He's a coward. And whether it's a psychological issue or he is by design, he's scared of putting his foot in. He loses too many duels. It's like he's got a special dispensation not to compete for tackles. It's like Arteta's got a checklist. He said, Ødegaard, you do this and this and that. Don't compete for tackles. Don't win duels, and you're good. That's the only way you consciously see him bailing out of these tackles. And it's not good enough for a club of our size to have a captain who doesn't compete for duels, who doesn't even put his foot in the way to stop the opposition attacking us. And it's been excused by the manager. The manager is aided and abetted this behavior. So people can say, oh, because he's qualified for the World Cup, he's scared of getting injured. Bollocks. Bollocks to that. Honestly, he was behaving like this way before they qualified for the World Cup. So we can have this profile of a player as captain of our football club. Is very simple. It's too important a position to platform such an inadequate player who has so many shortcomings. So, but North, listen, I just came on the stream to express this frustration. Like he said, I don't normally come on and have a run and say all this bullshit, but for me, it's a long season to go. There's still a lot of football to play. Things change very quickly in football. Who knows in a couple of months, things could change. I mean, a month ago, things were looking good, but it's just the familiar feel of this that I just don't like. I just don't like the PTSD element of this and the fact that we've seen this before. But, what I will say is you know, whether by hook or crook, we'll really find out this season whether this manager is capable of delivering what he's been tasked to do. And if he isn't, like you say, either fan base turns against him, or I really don't know, man. I don't know. But
No, I hear it, bro. I hear it, man. I hear it. But look, hopefully we're wrong. Hopefully we're wrong. But you know, performing against Wolves or Club Brugge, that don't change. They don't change nothing. What irritates me is when some people start talking like, "Oh yeah, but we won this game." It's not about just winning games. It's about rectifying mistakes and actually getting over the line. There's no more round of applause for just winning games, bro. The overall thing is about winning the league. And like I said, there's been some good in-game management from him. Atletico Madrid, Bayern Munich, but it's been inconsistent. Let's just be fair. It's been inconsistent. And that's the frustrating thing, man.
Yeah. I just think that I'm not confident about the Club Brugge game tomorrow, but I just think once we beat Wolves, our fan base will say, "Oh, why are you guys still upset? We beat Wolves." That doesn't change the fact that we couldn't beat Liverpool, we couldn't beat Man City, we couldn't beat Sunderland or Chelsea or Aston Villa. So you fans can say, "Oh, why are you guys so upset? We beat Wolves." That doesn't change the fact that we didn't win our other games. So let's not sit here and say that, "Oh, that's a splendid job, well done." That doesn't change the fact, because this season we've really learned on why this manager is not good at setting this lineup right. Because against Liverpool, the one horrible thing he did in the Liverpool game was when he let Saliba play until he couldn't take it anymore. He was on the floor holding in pain, and you can see by the look on his face that he wanted to come off. So this manager did one fuck up wrong by letting Saliba play when he knows that Saliba wasn't 100% fit for the Liverpool game. And when he took him off, he brought on Mosquera on, because you can see that Mosquera was getting ready. He's getting his shirt ready and everything. So that was on Arteta, because he allowed Saliba to play that game despite the fact that he knew that he was injured. So that was the first fuck up he did. Then against Man City, the second fuck up he did was when Calafiori got absolutely spun around by Erling Haaland for their first goal. And when we got that equalizer against Man City, Martinelli was celebrating with the crowd. Like, when you're scoring an equalizer, you need to get the ball out of the halfway line and run back. But instead, Martinelli just does some stupid celebration, and because our manager said that, "Oh, we need to keep the level of celebrations alive because that is what we are. We are a family." So this football club has nothing about them that makes them special, except the fact that when they score an equalizer, they have to do some sort of stupid celebration. Then against Sunderland, we were trailing by 1-0 through Dan Ballard, who was once our player, but I never seen him play for us before. But when he scored that goal, I was like, where was the defending? Why wasn't Gabriel not strong enough to mark up Dan Ballard? And then when we got those 2 goals from Saka and Trossard, but who by the way were terrible in that game, we allowed Brian Broby, the most overrated striker in Europe, score a decisive equalizer in that game. So that was our own fuck up. And then against Chelsea, when we drew 1-1 to them, they were down to 10 men. Caicedo was sent off. We understand it. That was a clear foul on Mikel Moreno. But with 10 men, Chelsea was still dominating us. And they got that opening goal through a corner, and it was because of Mosquera. Like, what? Why was
league, lads? Why are we all upset?
Why wasn't Mosquera not marking up Chalobah?
Why are you, man, so negative? God.
Just enjoy the atmosphere, isn't it?
Look at this
God,
guy.
you man are
Big up
too
Saka,
negative,
man.
man. God, we're gonna win the league, the Champions League, the Europa League, all of it, bruv. I don't know why everyone's so upset, bruv.
Nah, man. It's not taking a
Okay,
piss,
sorry,
bro.
continue,
You know what I'm saying?
continue.
Look at this guy, man. Look at this guy. But yeah,
Sorry,
now
my
carry
bad.
on, Macy. Then we'll get
Yeah,
Cam.
my bad. Carry on, my bad. I'll mute myself. I'll mute myself.
We equalized, and then all of a sudden Chelsea was still pressing at us, and despite that, we drew that game. And Chelsea fans are clapping and saying, "Oh, it don't matter. We got a draw. We took a point away from Arsenal." But that was our own fault because we should be slapping up Chelsea, because no disrespect to any Chelsea, like to Chelsea, because they are one of the most decorated clubs in London. We should be beating them at their ground, but we came away with the draw, and that was utterly disappointing. And then the Villa game, that was this manager's fault, because why didn't he bring Saka off? Because Saka had one of the most terrible games in that match. He should have brought him on. He should have taken him off from Noni Madueke, but instead he keeps him on, and then he brings Madueke on in the last minute, and that was when Villa got that late winner, because Arteta never reacts quickly enough to bring on somebody, because he's always willing to bring somebody on when we're in the 80th minute or something. So we have literally put ourselves in this crisis, and now that City are 3 points behind us, it won't be long now. Once we continue to drop more points, City could see that as an advantage, and they could overtake us at that top spot.
They're two behind us.
Oh, yeah. So it won't be long before City overtake us in that top spot if we continue to drop points like this.
I see my man over here smiling. He's like, "Yeah, we're right behind, bro. Don't worry, man. Pep's there. Like, yeah, you do what you need to do. You do what you need to do, Arteta, because we already know what's gonna happen."
Now, what you say, Cam, man? You have your say, and then I need to go, man. I ain't packed
Yeah,
myself.
I know. I wasn't gonna jump on for too long anyway, because I've seen you being on for 2 hours. Bloody hell, but North putting in that work, fam. Come on, big up. Now, what I was gonna say was, yeah, listen, right. I don't know how many times we've been in this same position, and I'm not even talking about under Arteta. When you was talking about Wenger, we was in this position in 07-08, when we was top of the league by Christmas. 09-10, I think it was, when we was top of the league by Christmas. Like 15-16, we was top of the league by Christmas. Now, under Arteta, 22-23, 23-24. Now it's looking like this year. This is a fucking ongoing theme with Arsenal. There's something going on with Arsenal Football Club, where this keeps going on. And it's this Arteta. I am blaming Arteta, but I'm also blaming the Cronkies and that as well, because as long as this dickhead gets top 4, this guy will never lose a job. No matter how much Cronkies like to get, oh, well, we're all about the trophies. And no, you're not, bro. Because if you was all about the trophies, you would have sacked Wenger in 2011. Do you know what I mean? You would have sacked Arteta after the first year he flopped when he bottled the league to City when we was 8 points clear. Like, I'm not surprised that we're now starting to play shit Ødegaard's back either. I'm not surprised. Let's be real. Is anyone else surprised? Do you know what I mean? Like, as soon as I saw the lineup the other day against Villa and I saw Ødegaard start, I was like, yep, we're dropping points. Because he pushed fucking Eze out to the left. So I was like, yeah, Eze's going to be useless. But to be honest with you, the Chelsea game as well, like, we didn't even look like we even cared about that game. Once again, we fucking, third year in a row, we fucking robbed a fucking draw. Like, literally robbed the draw from Stamford Bridge. Third year in a row. Like, people forget about last year and the year before, how bad we were at Stamford Bridge. And how lucky we were to even just walk out with a draw. So I'm not surprised about that anymore as well. Like, I'm trying to rush what I'm trying to say because I know North wants to obviously dip in that.
No, don't worry. I'm just taking my braids up.
Yeah, but fam, I don't know what else I can say that's probably not already been said on this show. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just gonna rinse and repeat what Mandem have already said. Do you know what I mean?
But how do you like? Even though,
do you know what? I've got to respect you, North. Yeah. One big up to you. Yeah. I think you're the only other Arsenal fan when it came to that Chelsea game, by the way, because I was gunning for everyone, all the Arsenal fans. Yeah. I think you're the only other Arsenal fan that I saw that said you wasn't gassed up about beating Chelsea or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? Even I said, bruv, if you man are gassing up that we're going to smack Chelsea up, bruv, you man, have you not learnt yourself, sort of thing? Like, obviously, we know a couple of them as well. Like, obviously, big up Lee, big up Troops and all that. But even when they were doing it, I had my head in my hands. I was like, fuck's sake, like, you man are setting yourselves up here, bruv. Like,
yeah.
So, yeah, man, I think with the Arsenal fan bit, do you know what it is? Some of us obviously know, but the rest of them, they're so gassed up here. They're not, I don't even call it, they're not Arsenal fans. They're fucking either they're Arteta fans or they're player fans. They're not actually Arsenal fans. Do you get what I'm saying? They'd rather support a certain player over the actual club, or they'd rather support a manager over the actual club. Like, at the end of the day, yeah, like you said, I don't care who wins me the league, bro. Win me the fucking league, bro. It's 21 years, bruv. The last time we won the league, bruv, I wasn't even 11 yet, bro. It was like a week before my 11th birthday. Do you know what I mean? I was 10, fam. I'm 32 with 2 kids, bro. Now.
Yes.
And I still ain't won a league, bro.
That's mad. Just be patient, though.
No, but this is the problem. But this is what I was trying to get onto Arsenal fans. Like, especially on Twitter, I'm like, bruv, there's a reason why rivals get onto us so much. Because you let them. You literally give them the ammo to get onto us. Do you know what I mean? You give them the ammo. You go out your way and say, yeah, we're going to smack the league up. I mean, like, big up to Hooks as well and all that. But to say, yeah, this is my league in October. Come on. Come on. This is my league. No, it's not. I don't care if we're 20 points clear in October, bro. We're in October. Like, October, you're saying this is like this. I know it's not just him. Obviously, there was other Arsenal fans, of course, but obviously, I'm only bringing him up because it's his stream that I watched, didn't it? And he was saying it and that. Like, this is why Haaland said what he said, bro. This is why Haaland said, "Stay humble," because Arsenal fans fall in this trap year in, year out. Yeah. And then they play the fucking victim card when it all goes to shit.
Yeah.
Why are they getting onto us so much? What, you know, but like, it's your own fault. It's your own fucking fault. Like, the self-awareness, like, I don't understand with this generation about self-awareness, bro. There's like no self-fucking awareness in this generation, bro.
No.
There's literally, and it's all, do you know what it is? It's because of that thing. Everyone's going to have their little 15-minute, they're going to be famous for 15 minutes. Yeah, that's what it is, bro. Most of them literally want their 50-minute of fame just to be noticed in the street. But because of that, you're not actually thinking logically. Because if you was thinking logically, you would know to stay humble. You wouldn't be saying stuff like, we won the league in October, or the league is ours, and da-da-da. Look, I will say this. The league is ours to lose, yes. But I'm not saying we've won the league or this is our league. Do you know what I mean? There's a difference between saying, yes, the league is ours to lose, than saying, oh, we're going to win the league. And year in, year out, I've seen it too many times, whether you're a positive or you're a negative fan, whatever cloth you are, every Arsenal fan always ends up going into the same fucking trap. And I think, like I said, I think you're the only one that I've seen not fall into that trap. Because like I said, big up Troops, big up Lee, big up all of them, innit? Big up. I'm not even trying to diss them like that. I'm not even dissing them. I'm just saying, like, in general. But they all fall into that same trap. All of them fall into that same trap.
They were positive and that won't get clipped. Do you get me? You know,
No,
all the
I
people
get
say,
that.
"Why you
I get
not
that. I get them being positive. I get the whole thing and them trolling and about being positive. Yeah. But then it gets to the point where they start, you can see it. They start believing it in themselves.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then they fall into that trap. Like back in.
Do you know what? With me, yeah, when I've been burnt too many times, I'll learn, bro. I'll be like, nah. Do you know what I'm saying?
Listen,
bro,
I stopped saying I think we're going to win the league when it hits October time back in like 2011, bro. Like I learned my lesson then, bro. You can't say we're going to win the league in October, bro. Like, because you just get yourself upset by the end of the season.
Mm.
So I learned
they were holding on to the thing is Cam here. They were holding on to that. Oh, but we normally drop points against Newcastle, but we beat Newcastle this year. Oh, you know, Bayern was a big test, which it was, and we beat them. I'm like, yeah, but the thing is, we've seen campaigns under this manager, yeah, where we've won big games, but then
different though this year apparently.
But we slapped up Man City last season. But what did we win? Do you get me? You remember what was it? It was Skelly, innit? Skelly doing the celebration and that. Yeah, I mean, and this is the thing, yeah. They go off of moments, and I get it, yeah. When your team's playing well, I get it.
Do you know what it is? Don't get me wrong, yeah. In the moment, yeah, you can be happy and celebrate. In that moment, I get it. Yeah. Be happy, celebrate the moment. Yeah. But don't let the moment gaslight you to thinking that this is what it's gonna be by the end of the season, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, think logically, have your moment, have your, you know, gas yourself up. Yeah, we beat City 5-1 or whatever. Do what you need to do as any fan would. But then don't take that like, yeah, now we smacked up City. Who is City, bruv? They're shit now. We're taking over. This is ours now. This is our league to lose. Like that. Like, nah, man, fuck off, man. Like, there's a reason why Haaland.
Celebrations after the Madrid game as well, yeah, last season. Even the celebration after the Madrid game, you guys almost thought that you've lifted the Champions League.
Yeah.
When we beat Madrid, don't get me wrong, I was gassed. I was gassed on the night for beating Madrid, didn't it? I was like, fucking hell, fair play, yeah. At least we got through. And then I saw we got PSG. Now, don't get me wrong, I'll hold my hands up to this one, innit? I was one of them saying I'd rather PSG than Villa, yeah. Just at the point because I knew what Arsenal record is against Villa. I mean, Saturday fucking proved it. Yeah. So I thought, do you know what? I'd rather play at PSG than play in Aston Villa because I feel like if we do play Aston Villa, regardless of it's the Premier League or the Champions League, we're going to let the moment get to us because it's Emery and Martinez and we're going to lose. I feel like we have more chance against PSG. Obviously, maybe I was wrong about that. I'll put my hands up on that one. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to just sit behind like I want the fans that saying PSG over at Villa. So, all right, cool. I can, you know, that was my mistake. Maybe we would have beaten Villa. Maybe we wouldn't have beaten Villa. Who knows? But we regardless, we got knocked out in the semis, yeah? I get it. You can celebrate beating Real Madrid. You can celebrate him like the moment. Don't then go on saying, "Oh, we're better than Madrid. Who are Madrid now?" Like we are the new. You know what I mean? Like that's where fans get onto us. That's where the rivals get onto us. That's where everyone. That's why you end up getting upset as a positive fan by the end of the season. Why is there so many people getting onto me? And why is so many people get receipts on me? It's because of how stupid you sound during the season. Yes, you can be positive.
I said PSG. I said, nah, we ain't beating PSG.
Do you know what
I got it wrong against Madrid. I didn't think we'd be able to beat Madrid, and we beat Madrid. So the Madrid one, I was like, calm. Then I got like Tony and all them. Yeah, North. See, you said. They're like, yeah, we're not scared of PSG, and I'm like, bro, yeah, I got it wrong against Madrid, but bro, we're not beating PSG. Nah, we don't care about PSG. We don't care about PSG. When we face PSG, all of a sudden, yeah, but you know, it's not good enough. Tactically, Arteta got outdone. I said, I told you. But you're trying to cook me a bit about the Madrid thing. I said, bro, I told you, don't get too excited, bro. Like these men go into games. We'll beat one big team. We'll go into games thinking we could beat everyone. Because we beat Bayern, now they're going to act like we beat everyone. I bet you we don't win the Champions League.
Do you know what makes me laugh as well? It was literally just before that Chelsea game, yeah. I was tweeting out, yo, Arsenal, man, I know how gassed you are right now, innit? Because we just beat Bayern. Stay humble, innit? Because otherwise, the same shit's going to happen, innit? Yeah. I was basically just saying, one result, I don't care how far away we are right now. And at that point, we were like, 7 points clear or whatever it was. One result can change a whole fucking season, bro. Literally, what happened? We drew to Chelsea. City got their win that they needed. They've now closed that gap. We then what? Go to we beat Brentford. Fair play. Then go to Villa. Bearing in mind, City are only 5 points behind us now, not fucking 8 points behind us or 7 points behind us. We lose to Villa, and they obviously, they scraped their win against Leeds during last week, innit? So, but even doesn't matter, they got a win. So now they're 2 points behind us. You see how the confidence is not there with these positive fans no more. You see how the confidence is completely changed from 2 weeks ago because of one fucking result. Because if we beat Chelsea, these fans would still be like, oh yeah, we're winning the league. But because of that one draw, now look, suddenly we can beat Brentford, but then we lose to Villa.
What happened to the positivity?
And then the positivity is just like, well, you know, they try and stay positive, but they know in their mind, fuck, it's going to happen again. But they will never say it out loud. They'll never say it out loud. Do you know what I mean? But in their mind, I know in the back of their mind, it's all of them are thinking it's going to fucking happen again, innit? Once again, I've been a dickhead during the season, but I'm going to have to stand 10 toes down and pretend like this is it. Like, no, this is Arsenal's league, even though we're 10 points behind. No, Arsenal's still going to win the league. Like, nah, like, that's what these men are on, bro. Like, this is the problem. Like, I might be saying even with the team or the club no more, the manager, might be with these fans. Bro. Just making them trying to understand, we're not against you as negative fans. We're not against you. We're literally just trying to tell you what these rival fans are telling you. But because you let your fucking egos and like, half of them don't even remember when Arsenal won the league. That's how bad it is. Half of them aren't even old enough to remember when Arsenal won the league. So I get it in their sense. It's like, well, this is the best Arsenal team I've seen. Right, cool. In your eyes, you have. We're trying to tell you this is not the best Arsenal team that there has ever been. But in your eyes, you're saying it is. But we're trying to tell you it's not. That's not us trying to say that this team is shit. We're literally trying to tell you we've seen better teams of Arsenal. But at the end of the same time, this Arsenal team is the strongest team in the league this year, at this moment in time. And what we're seeing is the same shit that we saw last year and the year before and the year before. Great, we're going great during the start of the first half. And then it all fucks up like midway through. We see it so many times under Wenger. We've seen it under fucking Arteta. That's why I said, bruv, they will not sack Arteta as long as this guy gets top 4. That's what they care about, is that top 4 Champions League money. Or top 5 now. So yeah, man, and obviously I ain't got a lot more to say than that. But yeah, man, like literally, bruv, to all you fucking dumbass positive fans, cool, be positive. On the day when we beat a team, yes, celebrate the moment. Be happy in the moment. Even if it was a dickhead scrapey 2-1 win and we've somehow managed to get the win and we don't even deserve it. Yes, celebrate the moment. Don't then just come on your fucking platforms and then start spewing the absolute most bullshit. That's where the problem is. When you come on your platforms, when you come to your platforms and you spew the most bullshit that gets you clipped up by the end of the season, where you're all getting clipped up and you're all pissed off because you're clipped up and because you was wrong. But then you end up blaming everyone. Oh, well, I'm the victim. I'm the victim here. No, yeah, you made yourself the victim, dickhead.
Then they come up with oh yeah, but I'm, what's the point of being a fan? A point of being a fan is supporting the team, yes, but also it's like saying, what's the point of being a parent? Well, being a parent isn't always praise. Bro, you're gonna have to listen. You know what I'm saying? It's not always.
But I'm a dad. You think I'm happy all the time with my kids? No.
Oh, what's the point of being a parent then?
Oh yeah, I can't be a parent. You know what I mean? Like, and these would be the same people saying it that probably don't have kids.
Bro, it's crazy the way they try to bamboozle accountability But then at the end of the season, they'd be doing videos about how did Arsenal bottle the league? Where did it go wrong? Well, support the team. Why are you being critical?
Yeah, why are you being critical now? When we was getting onto you about being critical during the season, you wanted to stay positive. You wanted to, you just wanted to ignore it. But now, suddenly at the end of the season, and it's all gone wrong, you want to be critical now? Like, that don't make no sense. That's like me, say if I go to work somewhere, yeah, and I fuck up say I'm a construction worker, and one day I've done one of the biggest fuck ups ever. And then 6 months down the line, that's when they want to criticize me for it. Like, you didn't say shit on that day. You didn't say shit during the build, but now the build's done. You want to come to me and say, oh, that day 6 months ago when you did this, rah, 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 that was wrong, and you're a donut for that. And huh? It makes no sense, bro.
No, it don't make no sense, bro.
Do you get what I'm saying? It makes no sense. Be critical. Right, you don't have to be like Lee. You don't have to be like North. You don't have to be like me. You don't have to be like Troops and be like, fuck this team. But you can be critical. You can be like, listen, today weren't good enough. Today, there's no positives from today. Instead of being like, well, you know, if we had done this a bit better, and just trying to find every excuse under the fucking sun. That's what it is. They just try to find any excuse. Instead of just being real about it and being critical about it and knowing that we weren't good enough, they'll try to pinpoint any little excuse to blame that on. Oh, well, we didn't win because of this, or because of the ref, or because of that injury, or because of the goal that shouldn't be the goal, whatever. Do you get what I mean?
Well,
like,
yeah, but do you know what it is, though? Do you know what it is? It's because they're scared of being put into the same bracket as us. That's what they avoid. The ones that kind of feel like they're like, do you know what I mean? Because you know what it is with this family. As soon as you criticize, you're a Arteta out. You're like Lee. You're like this. You're like Troops. You're like, do you know what I'm saying? And they don't want the hate. Yeah, I mean, because a lot of these men are online, trying to look for popularity, bro. Let's just be real with them. You can see the neeks, bro. You can see which ones are neeks, bro. And a lot of them are just looking for online popularity, bro. That's what it is. So.
Well,
they're gonna go with
what's all they're doing is cool. That's what I'm saying. Like they're saying most people in the world are gonna be famous for 15 minutes or something. Everyone's gonna have their own little 15-minute bit of fame. That's what they predicted, especially with social media and that. Innit? That's all they want, bro. That's literally all they want. They want to be known. So to be honest with you, half the time is. They just want to be on this YouTube scene because they think it's easier than working, which it kind of is. But at the same time, I mean, if you haven't been on a YouTube scene, you don't understand how tiring it can get. Especially if you're going on 3 or 4 different platforms in a day and you're talking about the same fucking thing that you spoke about literally on the other platform. Like I mean, there's a reason why I stopped. If it wasn't for Shocks, I'd probably still be doing it. But because of Shocks, I stopped, innit? Like, it just kind of knocked me for 4. Like, rest in peace, Shocks, innit? But I remember, like, when I was, like, literally doing it every day, bro. There was days I didn't even want to go, like, do it, bro. I was waking up, I was like, I can't be asked to be fucking talking about what I spoke about yesterday, bro. Like, I just can't be asked. I was still doing it, but you get to a point, so it's like, yes, a lot of people don't understand is, you have to put in that work before you can even feel like you can, all right, well, this is YouTube money now. I can just don't have to go for a job. Yeah. You have to put in that work, bro. And you just constantly not being real and being, well, I'm going to be a positive. I'm going to be one of these Arteta sections and stand him and da-da-da-da. But you think that's going to get you anywhere quick? No. Most people are going to look at you like a donut, bro.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you.
It takes time, innit? It takes time. Like, what are you on now?
I can't. 19.7.
That's what I'm saying. And how long you been going?
3 years, I think.
3 years. We know channels that have been going for like 3-4 years that haven't even reached 10K yet. You know what I'm saying? So, brother, there's work to be put into it. So
Yeah, the work is real. The mental exhaustion. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's mental. It's not physical. It's mental.
It's mental. And when it wears you down, it wears you down. And this is why I never thought I'd have an office job. Obviously, I enjoy this, yeah, but I never. That's why I went into. That's why I became a gas engineer, because I never wanted to sit at an office like. Do you know what I mean? This is obviously different, yeah, but at the same time, there's parts of it that are similar. And I'm not saying I hate it.
You could do longer hours on this than what you would on an office job.
Yeah, yeah.
Because like if you're jumping on, say you got a day where you got to jump on, say I'll just name random channels. So you got to go on, say Lewis's channel in the morning, then you got an hour show with Lee at like midday, and then you got to go jump on, I don't know, let's say Daps, Man City Daps, and it big up that like at like 2 o'clock, and then 4 o'clock you got to jump on another channel, and then you have like maybe you might have an hour break, and then by 7 o'clock you're jumping on another fucking channel, and then that's if it's not a football day. If it's a football day, you got to do your own watch along, and do you know what I mean? Not that, like you could end up doing a lot more hours. Do you know what I mean? Than an actual office job. You could do like 16 hours, 17 hours.
Yeah.
Just doing this podcasting. And that's long.
Yeah. It's true, bro. It's true. It's I thought when I came onto, I thought, this is easy, bruv. But everyone thinks it's easy. I'm not saying it's the hardest thing in the world. It's just everything in life has got its challenges in it. You know what I mean? And I think when you work for yourself, like it's even more demanding. Like yesterday, I had a day off. Yeah, chat. Everyone knows I weren't live yesterday because I went out leaving drinks, whatever, and there was things I had to do anyway. Like I was just.
I thought that was my invite, bro. Nah, I'm gonna be. No, play.
I can't even lie, bro. I didn't even organize it properly. Nothing, bro. Like I was supposed to have a leaving drinks today. Yeah, I was supposed to have a second leaving drinks today. It's not happening. I don't have the time. I'm getting my hair done. I need to pack my suitcase. But it's one of them ones as well. To be honest, yeah, I don't really want to say bye to people because obviously I'll still come back. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of them ones more like a see you later kind of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Not like a bye to see you later.
Yeah, I don't really want to say bye to people. Do you know what I mean? But I was just exhausted, bro. I can't even lie, man. And even the seller, bro, I was just exhausted, bro. Yesterday I was just exhausted. I had nothing in me to do anything. But yeah, man, like that's the first time in a long time that I've had a day that no content. I can't remember last time I had a day of no content.
Well, that's why, like, don't get me wrong. I was saying in the chat earlier, innit? And obviously, because I know you need to go as well. I was saying in the chat earlier, innit? But by like next year, like the new year, not next year, as in this time next year, but the new year, I'm gonna start jumping back on all this because I'm trying to work on myself now. But I've been like loping about for the last 3-4 years. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to be like, yeah, fuck this shit. I can't. Like, I'm 32. I've got 2 kids. I've got to like start fixing up and doing sign. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, I'm gonna go working on this as well, but trying to build my own channel, taking over. Though, listen, you've had your fun, yeah. You've had your fun, yeah. By 2028, my time.
You know what it is, isn't it? You know what it is. You know what it is. You know the you know what it comes with. Do you know what I mean? I think that's why a lot of these man, that's why a lot of these man start doing the easy thing and then just start sucking off the club. Because it's the easiest way to get views, it's the easiest way to grow.
Easiest way, bro. It's the easiest way. Or what Lee would say, the captions they use. The hype, the buzzwords. And buzzwords. Emergency meeting and all of that.
Yeah, bro. They know they want the shortcut, bro, because they have no integrity. They want the shortcut, you know what I mean? They don't want the long road. You know what I mean? And that's why the community is what it is, because they know, you man know, how long have I been trying to get to 20K now? Do you know what I'm saying? But there's a reason for that, bro. There's a reason for that. But it's calm. We'll get there. It's calm. But there's a reason. And the chat knows, man.
I think we just need to start jumping on Twitch, bro.
Huh?
I think we just need to start jumping on Twitch, start taking these streamers' views, bro. Who's cussing it? Come over here, bro. Who's actual speed? Come this way, bro.
Nah, bro. It just is what it is, isn't it? It just is what it is, bro.
No, but it's true, bro. It's true, innit? So
it is annoying. It is annoying sometimes. It is annoying, but That's it, innit? Like I couldn't the amount of content I'm gonna be doing, the hours I'm gonna be doing, I couldn't be in Barca chatting shit, knowing I'm chatting shit, doing 8 hours every day, chatting absolute shit and knowing that I'm just lying through. I can't do it, bro. I actually can't do it. Like chatting, like being a barefaced liar is actually a talent because I don't know how these men do it. Bro.
Like you see me, yeah, I can do it up to a certain point. You see how I jumped up? Why are you being so negative, guys? Come on, guys. Like we're winning the league, guys. Like, I can do it. Yeah, but I can do it in a banterous way. But then, like the reality is, bruv, I already know why, but I can't keep on this joke for too long because I can't laugh at it for too long because I know what the reality is.
Nah, that's what it is, man. Nah, just go for it, man. Whenever you tell yourself, like you said, man, whenever you tell yourself that's it, and then you know, make a schedule that fits you, you know, and then you know what I mean, and then you can do it, man. Just it's difficult. Like YouTube in general is already difficult, but then like when you're going against the grain, which is the people that want to be like chatting shit and stuff like that, it's just annoying, bro. Like. It's just annoying because you see these other people chatting.
Yeah, they're like big up to Ødegaard, innit? But the Ødegaards of the world, basically.
Bro. So I'm saying, man, these men are just they're on some next thing. I don't know what they're on, but it is what it is. The truth always comes out anyway. That's the thing with the truth always comes out anyway. So these men can run their little game. It's got a sell by date. You know what I mean? But remember, when this manager's gone, there's nobody else better in world football, so we might as well close up shop, bro, and just lock off the club. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No more Arsenal. Put Arsenal on the shelf, bro.
Yeah, that's it, man. If he goes, then that's it. There's nobody else out there that can replace him. But it is what it is. Listen, big up, man, them. Big up to everyone. You know what I'm saying? Big up Macy, big up PK, big up Cancam every single time. We're going to redirect to troops, Northside raid on the way in, and I'll see you guys at 4 a.m. today, en route to Barcelona, en route to the airport, en route to Barcelona.
Are you flying out today?
Yeah, today, bro, today.
Yeah,
I've got so many things to sort out. Big up to everyone that's locked in, man. I'm gonna get my hair braided. Sorted, man. Love, man.
Yeah, my bro.
Love, man.
Give that position to Reece Nelson to try. And then Yannick want to play, what's his name? Trossard. Don't play him inside me. If you play him by the wing, that is where he used to finish work for, at Brighton. Not people should send me to London. Do all you can. If working Gunners Hop is, you people should send me to North London. Let me grab Arteta by the neck. I will give me a dirty slap first, and then expect reasonable questions from him. So by the time I give him the next point, he will realize himself and know what to do. Yes. So that's all I'm asking for. Send me to North London. Let me mess him up so that he will sit up, because he needs someone to deal immensely with him. So you understand that he play with our emotions. My darling Arsenal that I love so much, and Arteta, you are lucky I'm not in North London. What I would have used the chemistry of upper job. Arteta, don't worry, I'll be there soon. Pray before I get there. You should not remain here. Another thing I'm asking for is, if he does not improve, I should be Arsenal coach. Let me take up that job. I know what to do. My days in the my days in Bender United and Bender Insurance.